Hey, big shout out, Big Trey Lance. Happy birthday to 23 years of excellence, Trey. Let's go. And where is Trey right now? We haven't heard much about what's going on. We will find out next week, though. But no film clips last 2-3 weeks. Huh? Anyway, fam, keeping two studs dilemma. I know it's a little early to be talking about it, but before the action really gets underway tomorrow, well, Thursday, we may as well get this worrying out of the way now. The Niners, like every super roster across the NFL, are coming towards a crossroad where the term cap casualty isn't going to be anything only mildly traumatic anymore. Because we came along. We're a team that started from dirt. Shanahan and Lynch arrived, and they got nothing but dirt. And they got to rebuild the whole building, tear everything out. I mean, now, remember the brick by brick thing they was always saying? At that time it was like, okay, get excited. That house is built. San Francisco now has a number of A-list players. We've already witnessed the exit of Deforest Buckner due to the 49ers' financial strategies. Remember, when a choice had to be made between, remember Vernon Davis, Delaney Walker? And we was all saying, oh, man. Goodbye, Delaney. Oh, man. Vernon and Delaney could have owned for a long time. That could have been the best two tight end set in football history. Really could have. I'm not playing. It could have been. During the Harbaugh era, but break it up. With greatness comes sacrifice in the NFL. The day may be coming as to make a choice between the combination of Deebo Samuel versus Brandon Aiyuk based on what we think we know right now. Now, tonight, going to the phones after contemplating the Niners' way of thinking regarding player personnel, will it be possible to sustain the services of both Deebo and BA in the years to come? Now, this year's already been signed, so he will be here next year. Between the two, after this upcoming season is over, who would you keep between the two? People have been throwing that question around a lot, but a lot of people don't answer it. I don't, because my love for both of them is just really too deep. I can't make a choice. It's like he's always coming and asking my mom, mama. Because, I was always pissed off at as a kid because I always thought I was getting mistreated. Was getting treated like royalty, but I always thought I was getting treated wrong. Mama, who do you like between Reggie, Kenny, Keith, Camille, and Joanne, and me? She's looking at me like, if you ain't got nothing else to do, I'll give you a job. Mama, answer your question. Look, stop. So you always answer. Because I guess she knew if she said me or I'd go back and tell the rest. If she didn't say me, I was going to be all upset. My mom's is sharp. Keep that fool, I know. I have these moments when I regress back into my childhood. I know, right? And by the way, fam, are you concerned about the Hawks yet? I was laughing at the Hawks. How we laugh at the Hawks and clown them? After beating them last year 3 times. When's the last time anybody did it like that to anybody? We beat them 3 times. We beat them 3 times. The Hawks picked several starters in the 2022 draft. And those players helped the team advance to the playoffs despite low expectations coming into the season. And that postseason trip ended with a road loss to us at number 3. Oh, I've never been so delighted. But John Lynch is concerned and thinks that there could be another matchup like that coming up this upcoming season. The Hawks had 4 picks in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft that looked pretty solid. The music builds up. The intrigue increases. The Hawks had 4 picks in the first 2 rounds of this year's draft that looked pretty solid. And John Lynch, who was hanging out with KNBR talking about this matter, said about his counterpart, John Schneider, quote, he's as good as this job as anybody in our league, unquote. John, give him respect. John, I don't blame you, man, because, Brian Young and I were the ones last year who saying, man, y'all don't overlook the Hawks, man. We ain't going to just walk over it. We did, but, I didn't see all that coming. The rookie QB situation. Matt Barrows. At Matt Barrows, the 49ers are bringing in 2 quarterbacks to run the rookie minicamp. Steven Montez, first reported by Eric Branch, and then Clayton Thorson. 6'4" Thorson was a 5th-round pick by the Eagles in 2019. He played 7 games last year for the USFL's Houston Gamblers. So it looks like Kyle won't be a substitute quarterback for the rookies this coming up weekend. I say, God, man, you guys painted yourself in a corner. You forgot to pick up a rookie quarterback. Now what? And then went and got a couple. All right. Keep them on speed dial, because, we may run out of quarterback. Boy, I've never in my football watching life seen nothing like I seen with the 49ers last year. Went through 4 quarterbacks in 1 year, laid them all out. What the hell has that ever happened anywhere in the league? Let's get into this, though. After trading star defensive tackle Deforest Buckner to the Indy Colts in 2020, Niners GM John Lynch called the most difficult decision he'd made since taking the job 3 years prior. Similarly, tough scenarios have emerged since, most recently with the right tackle Mike McGlinchey, the number 9 overall pick in the 2018 draft. Now, I know what you're saying, Ronbo, man. Ain't nobody taking that as no tough decision. Kyle and John act like they did. McGlinchey wanted to stay in San Francisco, fam, and why not? It's a beautiful city. The people are wonderful. The fans are crazy good. The food is outstanding. The weather is, it is good most of the time. Why would you want to leave? And Niners wanted to keep him too, but it was clear long before McGlinchey signed that 5-year, $87.5 million deal with the Broncos in March that the sides were headed for a breakup. At the heart of those choices has been either or. Decisions between standout players that most teams would love to have. In 2020, that meant Buckner was out and Eric Armstead stayed. This year, it's McGlinchey on the move because Williams signed a deal in 2021 that made him the game's highest paid OT. You see how it works, fam? You're also aware the Niners chose to re-sign Dre Greenlaw rather than retain Azeez Al-Shar. Now, you and I both know Al-Shar is bad boy. That boy, he fits right in with the tradition of having tough linebackers. San Francisco 49ers always keep some linebackers. Azeez has went to give somebody else a better linebacking group. See how the pattern is becoming more and more common, fam, as we get better and better? This activity sets the table for what could be San Francisco's next big contract dilemma. You can see it coming. What to do with receivers Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk? Deebo signed a 3-year, $71.55 million extension in August. It might seem too early to discuss it, but we're going to do it anyway, fam. We might get this. You know what's going to happen? Because when you give yourself the bad news, you get the good news later. Because I know they're going to work this out. Please, would be eligible for an extension and coming off a season in which he, not Deebo or All-Pro George Kittle, led the team in receiving. He's well on his way to a big payday, fam. Know this, believe it, it's reality. John Lynch has already been hit with a question and gave one of his frightening Lynch-type answers. Quote, well, it's a good question. It's a fair question because I understand the line of thinking. You can't keep everyone. And he smiled. John, why do you smile when you say those things? What is he? He veils. John is great at veiling all his real thoughts. He's got that smile, the dimples are crashing in, and he's got that. God. It's the first thing you think, though, when he talks like that, because we know John by now. We've been with him for a few years. So the first thought about, That line of thinking combined with the Niners receiving calls from teams interested in picking BA up was enough to have people wondering whether the Niners might actually move on him this year. Because as he's making noise, we always wonder what the aggravation level is in the 49ers front office. When Deebo was going buck wild last year, right? Deebo was just going crazy. His brother was getting involved. His mom was getting involved. They was all on social media just tearing the Niners down, tearing them down. You got players, Deebo, get the hell up out of there. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop. The rumor mill was going nuts. So hard, so hard during draft week that BA, he even had moments of doubt. Because the 49ers don't tell the people anything. Remember on that day, April 28th, BA was freaking out and tweeted that he got a call from his agent who was, quote, just chatting. But he was worried that it might be the call that he'd been dealt. BA, at the 2 era, tweeted, quote, why my agent called me first thing this morning? Just chatting. I thought I was up out of there. I was going, head to the facility and start kicking doors down. Unquote. See, nobody wants to leave San Francisco. You know you need to ask for your money, but you don't want to stay there for no poverty wages. And you want your money what you're worth. So of course you got to ask for your money. But they go throw me out of here because I asked for my money? Now you know that's going to make you mad, right? BA was on his way to the facility to hurt somebody. Wow. While Lynch and Shanahan insist they will listen to calls on anyone, they joke that they trade each other if the offer is good enough. But they never intended to do anything but keep BA for 2023. That was never in the cards. The Niners have kept Aiyuk and picked up his fifth-year rookie option before the May 1st deadline, as you already know, which guarantees him $14.124 million base salary for the 2024 season if he doesn't sign an extension before then. But therein lies the wrinkle. Traditionally, they prefer not to sign first-round picks to an extension until after the fourth season, BA. And you know this. That will happen later this summer with Nick Bosa, who will likely become the league's highest-paid defender when his deal is done. If Aiyuk is able to build on that 78 catches, 1,000 yards, and 8 touchdowns, and he was option number what? Deebo. And you know what? Between George and CMC, so I'm going to go Deebo, CMC, George, then Aiyuk. 1,000 yards. What if he was raised up a little higher on the pecking order? He's a star, Phil. He is a star. He's up and coming. He's going to become expensive. 1,015 yards and 8 TDs he posted in 22. There's a legitimate argument that he's not only the Niners' best pure pass catcher, but also one of the league's emerging receiver talents. Considering the rising costs of top wideouts, the Niners would theoretically have to decide between Samuel and Aiyuk, right? Because he's going to get money thrown at him. He's not going to be able to refuse. 49ers are not going to get into bidding wars and people are going to pay top dollar. Fam, that might happen eventually, huh? So do you wait until that happens? There's also a route, though, for the Niners to delay the decision at least another year as they continue to chase the elusive 6 Lombardi, which the Rams have decided we cannot do. That's not the same. That's the same team as Eddie D and company had. 49ers are just a team that's fooling around. They got Kyle Shanahan, who's just a loser at heart. He just came in. They beat us one time, and Rudy's drawing all them damn conclusions about the 49ers. Rudy, dude, I like you, man, but you're out of your mind. Okay, anyway. Samuel's salary cap number for 2023 is an affordable $8.65 million, though, while BA's is a little less than $4 million. Their combined number jumps from $12.65 million to a mind-boggling $42. $42,696,000 in 2024 between two people. Well, you know what? Dak Prescott gets paid that by himself. Under normal circumstances, most first-round picks sign a heavy bag long-term deal will have a more manageable salary cap figure the first year, and then they would have it if they played on the fifth-year option. So that's what they're going to. That's probably what the 49ers are going toward that direction. Samuel's cap number in 2022 after signing his extension was 6.88. Cheap. It doesn't drastically spike until 2024. 28.5 mil. That's still a significant investment. Fam, it's not outrageous to think the Niners could keep Samuel and Aiyuk together for another couple of seasons by structuring a BA extension in a way that limits his short-term cap hits. You know how they do, big roster bonus, big this, big that. Pay him all at once. to knock that cap down. But is Parag, fam, is Parag going to have time for us? Because the mastermind sitting in that office, who's going to handle the number manipulations while Parag's talking, Leeds United, Leeds United, Leeds United. Hey, Parag, man. What's up, man? I know, you're probably all pumped up, but you got to come back and fix these contracts, bro. Regardless, the Niners view Aiyuk differently than players like Buckner and McGlinchey, though, largely because of their evolution as a franchise moving forward, doing things right, doing things to remain relevant and sustainable as a competitor. The Niners made some of their previous decisions to attempt to extend their Super Bowl window as long as possible, of course. Their current choices are made in an effort to jump through that window before it closes. And Lynch said this about that, quote, we're trying to do something special this year, and Brandon is going to be a big part of that and beyond as well. You always have to think out a few years, but we're really excited about Brandon. I feel like he made another big step last year, and I think the best is yet to come. And so we want him being a part of it. As of right now and into the future, we're really excited about Brandon Aiyuk and where he is at as a pro, unquote. Now, you all know this, and we've heard this conversation before. This is usually to pique interest of GMs around the league, from my experience, what I gather and when I see them doing this, because as they say that, a few days later, a month or so later, that player that was being bragged about or being touted as being something we never want to part with is leaving. One thing that may shape how things might play out, though, the Niners' belief in quarterback Brock Purdy. Now, here's where it ties together. Purdy's expected to step back in the starting role this season and beyond once he recovers from right elbow surgery, right? That's the thinking currently until, the other quarterbacks come in and assert themselves to compete. But Purdy isn't eligible for a contract extension until after the 2024 season and has cap hits of $889. I'm not talking million. I'm talking 889,000. That's less than 100, right? 253, and of course 1,000,000 for 1,004,253 in 2023 and 2024, respectively. How many people have a winning quarterback that's not making a little bit more than over $1 million? Now, at some point, his agent's going to find him and, okay, John, Kyle, the party's over, guys. You guys have achieved with this quarterback. He's taken you to, first year he got hurt, but that could have been a Super Bowl. This year, you made it through, he made it to the Super Bowl, and he's a winner. And listen, before you say anything else, we know. We're prepared to offer him this. And they give him, a little bit of an increase. The agent would say, no, you don't. Super Bowl quarterbacks don't get paid like this, guys. Listen, let you think about that. I'll be back in a couple of days. Now we got a problem. See? This is how these things occur. That bargain rate coincides with massive cap jumps for Kittle, Williams, and Fred Warner. That's a lot of money, fam. It also goes a long way in allowing the Niners to afford to keep their nucleus for at least 2 more seasons and sign big-ticket free agent Javon Hargrave. And if Purdy delivers and earns a lucrative deal of his own, well, added to the what did we do now decision to make for the 49ers. And I figured this out a while ago, fam. I knew it. Shanahan said this. That was the whole goal. If we could get a quarterback on a rookie deal to play at a high enough level that we thought we could win with, then we thought we could build our team. Unquote. See, that's what the 49ers want to do. They want to get a quarterback that doesn't cost any money, can just do as he's told and get it done. But the thing, Kyle, the non-reality of that is, if he does get it done, have you got somebody waiting in the wings to come in and be cheap and win? This is something I do struggle with that. Hence, with the exception of a few on the Niners roster, everybody is expendable. Next year, fam, here's the question. And it's liable to really come up. The possibility is extremely high. The decision, who are you most comfortable with keeping between Deebo and BA? If you have to make that tough decision, what you gonna do? Here's my thinking. I'm thinking, I'm getting over my own personal feeling on this because I don't want to lose either one. I mean, I love both those guys. I really do. But I know what the 49ers are going to do. Fam, 49ers they're going to get rid of the guy that's going to bring back the most in trade value. They're going to be looking very hard this year to see if they have any receiver that can even scratch the surface of what BA does. Why? Because I think what the 49ers probably believe is that CMC can probably cover a lot of voids. You can put him in any number of situations. His flexibility is amazing. You can diversify what he does. You can expand upon what he does. You can get another one of the wide receivers to do a little bit more to cover that problem that you would have losing BA. They're making efforts, it seems, to try to get George Kittle so he can get loose and get out there and get a little more in the passing game and not have to block all the time. McKivitz, they're expecting him to have a Jake Brendel type year, by the way. That's why they didn't move on trying to get a right tackle or another tackle. Remember last year we said Brendel, but come on, man, we don't have a center. He went to the Pro Bowl. Jake Brendel was a Pro Bowler. So McKivitz expected him to be this year's Jake Brendel. He's going to come out there and do a job. Do you see what they did with the wide receivers? Now, one of those guys may be, and especially the kid named Bell. Is his name Ronnie? See, the 49ers are always calculating, always maneuvering, always thinking a step ahead to see if they can make life easier for themselves and the team to get that 6th trophy, which is probably going to come up soon. I predict within the next couple of seasons that trophy will be landed because the 49ers, even though we criticize them, we talk bad about Kyle Shanahan and everything else, their plan is solid if they can get it to work. So they're gonna if they find that they can actually cover for Brandon Aiyuk, you know what you can get for Brandon Aiyuk? You can get a first-round pick in a heartbeat. What can you get for Deebo in the first? You can't get a first-round pick, most likely, because people look at his durability. His function as a running back works in Kyle's system, but is it something other teams want, or will other teams adapt and let Deebo be Deebo with them as well, like Kyle does? So if I was going to put anybody on ice for next season that we may have to think about losing, it's probably Brandon Aiyuk, just for that reason. Hopefully, this conversation never has to be had. Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo stay in tandem out there killing teams because the combination of the two is just unstoppable. All you got to do is keep them out there healthy, and what's the team going to do? Aiyuk was before Brandon Aiyuk, they broke his arm. Aiyuk was running loose. BA oh my God, bam, oh, damn it. Okay. God. Barack. Ronbo, it's Trey's B-Day. We going to the bowl now? Yes, we are, Barack. Big Show, if we could get a first for Aiyuk, they'd pull the trigger. Show, I know. Absolutely. Look out for key words like, we want Brandon to be a 49er for a long, long time. I know. Did we want Defoe to be a 49er for a long, long time? God, John's starting to sound like those little Thai working girls. Me love you for a long, long time. You know, okay, here we go. This is good. We go through these kind of subjects. I love it. Talk to Phil first. It's chill. Phil. Brock. Brock O'Leary said, hey, Show, Rumble only likes us because we send the money. And I love you too, Brock. I do. It's time for chill. Phil.
Hey, Ronbo.
Okay, Phil. Yeah, I thought I'd get a whirring underway.
Why are you having this conversation?
Phil, straighten me out on this. Straighten me out.
Not going anywhere, okay?
Okay.
I mean, you look at the cap. First of all, they just signed him to the fifth-year option, so it's guaranteed money. Mm-hmm. So we've got him for 2 years, okay?
Oh, 2? Oh, that's right. This is Brandon's third year.
The fifth-year option kicks in the following year.
That's why they have the 2-year window.
And so what happens is, like in 2024, right now on the websites that have all the cap stuff,
yeah,
we're $30 million over the cap. but that doesn't include the $10 million that the projected cap is going to go up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It also doesn't include the rollover, which we probably going to have about $15 million in cap space rollover.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $25 million. Now you figure Bosa's going to take up an additional anywhere from $6 to $10 million his first year, because most of that first year is signing bonus, and that's spread out over the length of the contract.
Mm-hmm.
So Deebo and Aiyuk, and Deebo gets paid, what, $28 million in 2024? It's going to be the highest cap hit on the team. But after that, it goes down significantly. And in 2024, Trent Williams' contract goes down significantly. So that's how the Niners are working it, so that Deebo's getting paid now, and then it goes down, and then Aiyuk's contract kicks in, and so we can keep both. So, I mean, the guy that when I look at the contract in 2024, the guy that stands out is Dre Greenlaw. He's a $10 million cap hit, but no dead money if we cut him. So I think Dre Greenlaw is short-lived. And I think that's why they drafted those linebackers.
To get a good look.
To have, and they say, well, he's a lot like Dre Greenlaw. So if he's a lot like Dre Greenlaw and he pans out, then he can replace Dre Greenlaw. So,
Phil, though, wait a minute. On that strategy, why would you cut him? Why don't you trade him?
Well, you could trade him, but then he's got a $10 million bill with it. So I don't know if teams want to take a $10 million linebacker.
Well, the Rams should. I mean, they got the worst linebacker. No, I don't want them in the division. Who's got
trading with the Rams.
A real poor linebacking crew? Drake could come in and make them better instantly.
Well, we're not trading with the Rams. So.
Well, no, I took that back. Yeah, not the Rams. They don't get nothing from us.
Well, the Prague he's got this thing,
figured out,
kind of like stepping stones, and you make one hurdle, and then you get over that, and then you add another contract to it. So it's just they work it out. They keep their best players, and they let the B players go, and go somewhere else, and then replace them.
Yeah, that's what they do.
That's how the Niners work.
Yeah, they've got to understand. Aiyuk's
not going anywhere. Okay, he's not going anywhere.
Hey, Phil,
so we got him for 2 years at least.
Okay, but Deebo, he is
another
considered
big contract that's staring. If Trey Lance doesn't, get the starting role, I think he's going to be trade bait for sure, because he's going to be making about $14 million, and if he's not playing for a backup quarterback,
you can't get paid $14 not playing. That's the 49ers
are
begging Trey to take that job.
$750,000 a year.
$800.
And he's 3 more years at least at that price.
No, it's going to expand in the next couple of years. He's getting $800 something this year.
No, it won't. Doesn't work that way.
Not much.
He signed a deal. He's here under contract for 4 years at $750,000 a year. Because he got drafted in the position that he got drafted, that's why he makes so little.
Yeah,
that's why Trey Lance is making $14 million, because he was the 3rd pick in the draft.
Okay, Phil,
Brock Purdy's making.
Yeah, but his cap hit, Phil, $889,253 and $1,253,000 in 2023 and 2024, respectively.
It goes up a little bit.
Yeah, I was going to say it goes up a little bit.
But it's not much.
No. I mean, that's poverty wages for football players. That's why I said his agent's going to come racing into that office at some point, especially if he does well this year.
Yeah, he can't. He really can't, because the guidelines.
He's on a rookie contract.
It's set in stone.
Kyler Murray
rookie contracts live off it.
Hey, Kyler Murray is getting paid shameful money, and he was on a rookie deal.
Who's that?
Kyler Murray, Mr. My Leg.
No, he got a contract in his 5th-year option.
Has Kyler been? Oh, that's right. Him and Nick, they came at the same time. That's right.
Yeah. So that's why he got paid.
Yeah.
And Nick's going to get paid this year too. I mean,
know.
He's going to get a new contract.
Yep, he has to. So, yeah.
So, don't worry, Ronbo. The star players are not leaving. They won't let them go.
Yeah. Unless, of course, somebody gets them an offer, and how Kyle and John talk. They'd get rid of each other if somebody offered the right thing.
I mean, if you get a trade offer you can't refuse, then fine. You're gonna take it, right?
You got to do it. Yeah. Not me though. I'd be the worst owner because I have passion about my team, and I would say I'm not moving on him. No. Well, they're going to give you 2 first-round picks. I don't care. Hang up the phone. I just hate it.
No,
I like keeping a team like this. I've
got a fat head of a guy behind me, so I can't trade him now.
Oh, yeah. God.
But anyway, Ronbo, I don't think there's any question we're keeping Aiyuk. And they've got it worked out. It's and then we've got on top of that, we've got 13 picks next year, a first, a second, 4 thirds. We're going to have a bunch of players.
Yesterday's going to be just a party on draft week, isn't it? Well, as long as they don't make any midseason moves and start wiping out all the picks. But first, second, third, fourth, and lots of this, lots of rounds because all those compensatory picks.
We have all of our 7 picks, and then we've got all those comp picks.
Oh.
Who would have thought would have gotten a third round pick from McGlinchey? Guys were ready to run him out of town.
Look how much he got paid. That's why it's based on. It's going to look like a gambling casino next year during draft. 49ers going to be dealing like a blackjack dealer. Every say, okay, give you 3. Take it, you pass. No, pass. All right, hit me. All right, bested. We'll take your player. And thank you very much. Woo!
Also, if someone hires Wilkes as a head coach, get more comp picks.
Hey, no. But we got to go, and I'm going to see you on Thursday.
All right, Ronbo,
I can't wait to talk schedule.
I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I believe it.
We'll talk about the schedule.
All right.
All right.
Look forward to that. Night, Phil.
Care, man. All right.
And fellas come in and put things in clarity. But you know what? I really, maybe not now, but you know what? Deebo's contract expires in, 2-3 years? So the timing, if the 49ers can play this right, and Aiyuk can just sit tight and not start saying, look, man, y'all ain't going to make me a part of no plan. I need to be paid now. He doesn't seem like that type, but I didn't see him being the type he was coming into this season when he was saying what he was saying. 319, hello, area code 319, hello.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Yeah, what is your name?
Schmidt Juice.
You said Schmidt Juice? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I come on here. I'm new caller, but, I come on here and type every now and then.
Well, Schmidt Juice, I'm delighted. Come on in, man. We're talking about, and, still, since we've already opened this can, if you did have to choose, and apparently we might not have to even go through this, but if you had to make a choice between Deebo and Brandon Aiyuk, what would you do?
Ooh, that's tough. Brandon Aiyuk just got 1,000 yards receiving, so when you got Deebo, became master, I call him. All I know is that these two are going to be competing for that number 1 spot here in the near future, so it's going to be exciting to watch.
We're going to see the volume of Brandon Aiyuk's his time. He's going to get a lot more play next year, I got a feeling, for a number of reasons. One of them is not good, but Brandon Aiyuk's going to be busy next year. He's got to get a lot more touches.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So.
The only thing is, Deebo Samuel with the short game, you got the injuries that are more possible to happen than Brandon Aiyuk. With
I know, right?
Yards of catch. Mm-hmm.
And he's still, Deebo, we should see clips of Deebo working out, getting in shape, show him at some place where he's doing yoga and trying to get flexibility. Deebo's just sitting back and macaroni and cheesing and hanging out with Kevin Hart. Come on, Deebo, man, you gotta, Deebo, come on, man, get in shape. Y'all don't see George Kittle and the rest of the guys doing that. CMC's outworking you by miles. Deebo does worry because he loves to kick it back. So we're gonna find out.
Well, I just wanted to, yeah. Well, I just want to say, I live in Cedar Falls. Well, I live in Denver, Iowa, but Cedar Falls, Iowa is the home of Bruce Kittle and Carl Kittle. So
George's
my
dad.
coworker.
Yeah.
Yeah, my coworker wanted me to call you because he lives next to Carl Kittle in Cedar Falls. So.
All right. Tell him I said hi. And tell him please say hi to us.
Yeah.
From Ronbo Sports to his dad. George's dad.
Most definitely. Yeah, he's still out. He's 90 years old, but he's always out doing yard work. So.
Hey, there you go. That's like those genes pass right down to George. That's why George is such an animal. Man, God. So
I don't see age stopping him.
Nah, George Kittle, if this is going to be the year, Smith Juice, George is going to stay on the field all year long, and he's going to have more of a Travis Kelce style role. He's just got to get that done. People think Travis Kelce is the greatest tight end in the league, when really, George can match that. He can. And maybe a little more.
He's Jesus here in Iowa.
You know?
Yeah. He's considered Jesus here in Iowa. So.
I agree with that. I mean, because the fact of the matter is, when George gets the ball, he can do a lot more than Kelce. Now, Kelce runs great routes, and I think he might run routes a little better than George, but not much. But when George gets the ball now, it's a challenge to see who can bring him down. And then when he gets an open field, God bless the man who tries to take him down solo. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Contact.
Oh, that's the thing about George's game. He loves contact. That's the only thing that worries me about his game. I wish he'd avoid it when he could. But George would rather take a man down than go around. George, Jesus,
yeah.
Go around him. So, should be fun. What else, Smith?
Well, not really. Just wanted to give you guys a call. It's been a while, since I've been on here watching you, so I just figured I'd give you a call since I had nothing going on at work right now.
All right. Appreciate that, fam. Thank you.
Just want to tell you that we out here watching you at Iowa. Yep, everyone knows about you. We're watching.
Thanks, fam. Say hello to everybody
We
can
love you,
for me,
man.
too. Oh, thanks. I love you all
Definitely.
back, too. All right. So just have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
You too. Love you.
Night. There he goes. Smith Juice. Cool. And, all right, it's early. It's never too early to beat up on the Rams and the Hawks. Jalen, would you come in here, please, and do that thing you do? Jalen.
Ronbo, you can hear me?
I can hear you now, Jalen.
Man, Cardinals, y'all are relevant. Rams, y'all can bombs. Seahawks haven't won the ring in 10 years. I know that can't be fun. What's the word, Ronbo? What's the word?
Well, we was thinking about, can we have all these players we got? We got a house now. That's why people, hey, 49ers, man, y'all didn't do nothing in the draft. We didn't need to do nothing in the draft. The hell's wrong with you? So, I'm laughing now because I'm thinking, while we're thinking like that, see, some of these players we got, we're getting too many really good football players. And somebody going to have to go soon. Maybe not yet, because the 49ers will stay open for that window, that Super Bowl eligibility as long as possible. But I look at Deebo and Aiyuk. That's just one or two tandems, because we got rid of Alshar already. We got rid of Laken Thomason. We've been getting rid of people slowly.
Yeah.
To keep others in. But when you had to make a choice between Deebo and Aiyuk, and Jalen, knowing you like I do, I already know who you're going to say. You getting rid of Brandon?
Yeah, Brandon.
Right.
No, hell no, I'm not getting rid of Brandon. I'm keeping Brandon.
That's what I'm saying. You're confused right now?
Ronbo, go back and look at Deebo Samuel's college highlights. Even at the college level, he never was a deep threat or showed to be a prototypical wide receiver, even at college. At college, Brandon looked like a prototypical wide receiver. We just have not been able to get him the ball the way he was used in college. Deebo's been used the same way since he was in college. So I think once Deebo gets older and his speed goes down, I don't know if he'll be as reliable to beat somebody one-on-one like Brandon can. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna keep Brandon, and he's healthier. He's healthier too. So yeah, definitely. I love Deebo, but Brandon,
look for them roles of switch
I'd have
this
to
year.
pick Brandon.
You have to. Look for the roles of switch. Brandon's ranked number 3 or 4, right, on the pecking order when it comes to plays. Look for Brandon to possibly move up a little on D. Maybe. You know,
we can't get rid of Kittle though, Rombo.
Oh,
we
no,
can't get rid
nobody's
of
talking
Kittle.
about that.
Kittle has to be. Kittle has to stay at 49er. Like Rombo. First of all, let's just get something out the way right now. I'm not finna give Kyle Shanahan credit for Fred Warner. He's not a defensive. The only really good pick that he's picked up on offense in his entire tenure with the 49ers draft-wise has been George Kittle. Everybody else has been so-so. Like, I mean, Ronbo, who can you really think? I mean, in the first, I'm talking about like in later rounds, Ronbo.
Oh, okay.
In later rounds, I mean, nobody else on offense has really panned out in later rounds. Like, I'm talking about like third round and up. You know, not, of course, you got Deebo, but these are like first, second rounders. But like anybody like past the third round, anybody like we don't really know what Mitchell's gonna look like. I mean, he hasn't played a full season yet, so And
Trey Sermon, that didn't work. TDP,
yeah, Trey Sermon
didn't
work out. TDP didn't work out. Trent Taylor didn't work out.
And don't forget
George Kittle's the only GM that Kyle Shanahan really has as far as like drafting somebody.
That may not be just him, but remember the pick of all picks, Dante, please don't hit me, or please don't hurt me, Pettis.
Yeah. How many quarterbacks has Kyle Shanahan sent to the Pro Bowl, Ronbo?
It's for a guy who's supposed to know what he's doing with offense, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he is. Maybe Matt Ryan. That's it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ronbo, for a quarterback whisperer, for a genius, he ain't. I mean, you ain't sent one quarterback to the playoff to the Pro Bowl, Ronbo.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't. He's not good at bringing quarterbacks up. He's good if a quarterback's already established, but
yeah,
raising them.
But guess who? Guess who's not already established, Ronbo? Guess who wasn't established?
I know, and we're seeing that. And
yep.
But so Brock Purdy does most of what he does because that's what he did before he came. So I almost consider him established in 4 years in school.
Yeah, he is established, Ronbo. But I mean, Ronbo, Marcus Mariota, he won the Heisman. You know what I'm saying? All the skill in the world, it just didn't translate to the NFL. Jameis Winston, it didn't translate to the NFL.
But Jalen,
I'm just like giving you an example on quarterback.
No, I'm just saying,
Ronbo.
You said offensive player Kyle picked up, but did you say draft or just picked up?
I'm talking about draft, not picked up. I'm talking about that he drafted.
Yeah. Because people are putting up CMC and everybody
I'm not
else.
about the count. No. We're not gonna do guys that he traded for, like Emmanuel saying. We talking about people he traded for. I'll give it to Cal. He can find vets that can come in and help, but like new guys, like rooks, nah, that ain't him. He's not good at development. Only guy that he's really developed good is Kittle. Other than that, I mean, nobody else. In the later round.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You just if you came in already good and polished, you're straight. But somebody like Kittle, like somebody in later rounds, he hasn't really done anything.
Well, it's a group effort though. Usually there's more than one person involved in
it is, Ronbo. But I mean, we know that this is at the end of the day, the defense is really the heart of the team. I mean, as many offensive Hall of Famers, I personally for the like organization with offensive stars.
Jalen, you're in a different place this time. You're breaking up. Jalen?
What'd you say?
Are you using Bluetooth?
Hello?
Yeah, Jalen, can you hear me? Are you using Bluetooth? Because that usually has the same effect. Jalen?
What were you saying? Hello?
Yeah, are you using a remote? Are you using Bluetooth?
No, I was using Bluetooth. Sorry about that. What were you saying?
Yeah, some of those decisions are made by Adam Peters and a lot of the other 49ers. So we can't really put all the picks on Kyle, although he does have this final say or yay or nay.
Ronbo, don't you think Don't you think that this is like a defensive organization though? Wouldn't you agree with that?
Oh yeah, that's their moniker.
I mean,
The 49ers are identified by their
yeah,
defense for sure. But you know what the thinking is behind
exactly.
that, Jalen? But behind that thinking is the fact that Kyle can make an offense work with no matter what he has. He's like
That's what I'm. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
about that. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's what the thinking is. And he doesn't need a lot. But if
Yeah,
the defense can go out there and shut a team down, then
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
49ers should be
saying,
fine.
Ronbo. Like, here's my point with that, Ronbo. Kyle Shanahan can win the game only scoring 17, 13 points, and the defense is going to always show up. Who's to say we can't get an offensive coordinator to come in or a new guy to come in and just say, hey, man, we just need 13 points out of you? That ain't hard. That's not hard to ask for. With those
No.
weapons, 13 points.
No, well,
I mean, Kyle Shanahan's not in shootouts every week.
But I mean, honestly, because they was over 20 point. I think weren't they a 25-point average a week anyway? Though, I think sometimes we take the game
late
when
in
they
the
score
season.
low. Yeah, but it's still the 49ers aren't going to be real low scoring. They're going to have a game here and there, but most teams do.
I don't know, Ronbo. That Saints game had me pretty pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
But the Saints defense
And that Broncos game. That is a good defense, though, Ronbo. But with all those weapons, you got to be able to put up that many points. You got to be able to put up points with that many weapons on offense.
You would hope so.
You have to. Yeah, like that's what you as an offensive genius, you're supposed to be able to, go
be able to do that
step for step against the elite defenses, Ronbo. That's when you're supposed to be able to show that you're not a regular offensive coordinator, when you can perform against the elite defenses, not just the Atlanta Falcons defense or the Packers defense, like a serious defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
yeah.
Jalen, we had too much before we got to go. But hey, with scheduled time, it's going to be another good time. Let me see you Thursday, all right? Are you ready? Tell people like you tell our rival fans how you feel, as I do. Niners! Did we lose, Jalen? Jalen, you didn't get a chance to tell the Cardinals and the Rams and the Hawks how he feels. Yo, TC. Man, I haven't talked to TC in like a long time. TC, you there?
Ronbo, what's up, dude?
TC, man, we're sitting up here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, we're sitting up here tripping about, because they keep trimming. How many more years can we go? They let a guy go here. It started with Deforest Buckner, actually. We saw Defoe go, and we weren't ready for that because we're not used to that. We're used to adding every year up until 2020, yeah. We're used to adding more firepower since 2018, getting better, getting bigger, getting badder, getting more dangerous, becoming lethal. Here we are, and now we got too many boys, these A-listers. We ain't gonna keep all up. We got a couple more years though with Brandon Aiyuk. But the question was, if you had to make a choice between BA and Deebo, what would you do, TC?
Remember, Ronbo? That's that question I asked you last week.
I know. And I told you, man, I can answer it. I like both of them.
I told you we gonna keep it simple, man. I mean, I ain't gonna do too much debating. I'll trade Deebo and keep BA. I told you how I feel.
I think if everybody in the Empire was polled, I really think that would be the consensus. Brandon would edge Deebo out because we don't. Do you trust Deebo anymore to stay on the field all year long?
Right. And can you trust him to run routes? Like, BA's a pure route runner, and he stays healthy. And if he had more touches.
Yeah, and I think that's going to increase. The thing is, Deebo doesn't need to do anything but what Deebo does. You know what I mean? I don't look at that as a handicap with him. When he comes around that corner, slashing across the secondary, just throw it to him. I don't care who's in front of him. They are the ones who are in trouble. I like that. Because Deebo, if he's got a full head of steam up, if you step in front of him, oh my goodness, I hope your insurance is paid up. Him and George Kittle both. So I like that kind of physical, smack you in the mouth kind of running back. Those guys get hurt a lot, but it is so much fun to watch.
Me too. Yeah, me too, Ronbo. I love the physicality though, but the question was if we had to trade one, who would we trade? And I think Aiyuk's more of a pure receiver, like a Justin Jefferson. He can go down deep, he can run across the middle,
and
he can do it. He can even get in it back. Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I don't know. That's in my opinion. So
see what he did to Stingley's brother in that Cowboy game. When they showed the clips of Stingley trailing him on every route, he couldn't even stay with Aiyuk. I mean, there was a distance. You could drive a car between Stingley and Aiyuk. I said, damn, I thought that dude was supposed to be bad. Look at that.
right.
Aiyuk. He got Aiyuked.
Right. Yep.
So,
you see him earlier. You see him earlier when they was getting ready for training camp. He got everybody fired up. I said, look at him. He know he's going to get paid.
Brandon Aiyuk. See, and that's the thing, though. If it comes down to, even if Deebo's not here, when it comes to paying him in a couple of years, the Giants, who badly need an Aiyuk, there's so many teams around it. Every team can use an Aiyuk. They're going to be throwing big bucks at him, right? So if we don't pay him in advance before he gets those offers to make his mouth water, it could be scary.
You're right. That's why you got to jump on it now for sure.
You really do, because we haven't had anything. Jerry Rice, T.O., I don't consider Crabtree. When's the last time we had a really premier wide receiver?
That part.
Yeah.
What,
see,
T.O.?
Yeah, that's where that you put a period on that sentence right there, don't you? Because I mean, Anquan Bolden was good, but Anquan Bolden was a more sophisticated version of Deebo.
He was, and you know what? I love Anquan, but Anquan wasn't really he wasn't a Niner like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
he came over as a mercenary.
We got him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wouldn't really count. I mean, I love Quan. It's just he wasn't a Niner.
I understand. I know exactly what you mean. We didn't raise him. Yeah, he beat us the year before, and and Baltimore couldn't afford to pay him, and so he came to us.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna go to San Francisco and help beat y'all's ass next year. So
right.
yeah.
Right.
That's the last receiver.
So Ronbo, let me ask you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying but that's the last receiver of quality. I think we've had. High quality. We had Emmanuel Sanders, but again, like you say, a guy that came over to help us.
Right.
And So.
Right. Yeah.
But go ahead. Finish your
what
thought.
you think about What you think about that topic? What you think about the whole Lance situation, rearing his head back up?
What situation?
And telling Ian Rappaport the whole Trey Lance situation with everybody pushing back and him rearing his head again, and him still in the media back. What you think about Lance? I asked you that last time. What you think about it?
When Ian Rappaport, is this something new that came up about Trey? No, the 49ers are hoping back of their minds, and maybe in the front of their minds, because Trey has the most upside. More than likely, that is the case. So they're trying to force Trey to take that job, and if not, they're going to say we tried, and I don't know. What did Ian say though? Which report are you talking about?
No, I'm just talking about the one when he was on McAfee, when he walked it back and they called him and said, "Hey man, what are you doing?"
Oh,
he put all his fault in there
about trading him and all that stuff.
The last.
Yeah.
So I want to know who that was. I want to know if it was John or Kyle. Which one was it? Who called Ian and told him, "Hey, check this out, Ian. Cut it out. Cut the BS out, man."
You know what? Somebody in chat says Rappaport was talking about Darnold. You know what, though? There has that discussion, though, about Trey. Even if they didn't call about Trey, they probably should stop. The 49ers gave up a lot to get Trey, and they'd like for him to get in there and win the job. But you know how football is. You can't wait. You've got to go get that job. We can't just give it to you because of where we picked you up in the draft. You've got to go get it. Show us that it's yours and yours alone. And they're waiting for that to happen. And he's worked hard to see if he can. So maybe, you know, he's got it. He's up against it, though, because he's got the experience of Brock Purdy already under his belt and Darnold's experience, 5 years. So it's going to be – Trey's going to have to be he's got to be ready. Mentally, he's got to focus – just block out everything that you know that those other two guys can do and beat them. He's got to go do it. If he does that, then he should be the starter. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. He's going to block all the noise out, just like the last caller. I kind of agree with him, too, though, when he said about Colin developing nobody. So I'm kind of glad that he picked up with Mahomes and his quarterback coach, and he finna steal the league, though. He finna steal the league, in my opinion, this year. So as long as everybody stay out his way, the coach, and just let Trey do his thing. No micromanagement, you know. If he fall on his face, let him fall on his face. That's the big thing about it, man. Well, let's see if he's going to fall on his face. Let's everybody quit talking about what he's not. Let's see if he's going to fall on his face. If he fall on his face, then, hey, we know he was a bust and he ain't the guy. And then, Brock, you do your thing. And if you ain't it, then Sam Darnold. But let's see first. You get me?
Yeah. I do hope Trey gets some guidance, though, because somebody's got it. Because he's 23. He's got 1 year as college ball. He's got to come in there and grasp things and be able to go with it quickly. We're going to see, though, TC. In another few weeks, actually. All right, Phil.
Yep.
We're going to go now.
All
I'm
right.
going to tell you what, I'll see you Thursday for scheduled time. All right?
All right, Ron. I'm going to tap in, brother. Be safe. Thank you.
Looking for you, TC. You too, fam.
All right. Peace.
Hey, yo, Michael.
Hey, Ronbo. How's your night doing, buddy?
Doing great, fam. How you doing? We're sitting there looking around.
Doing all right, man. Can't wait for Thursday. I can't wait for the schedule to come out. I'm all pumped up. We're all doing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that time of year.
Yeah, me and my friends are doing a little bet how many Monday night games the Niners are getting. We're doing a little, you know, betting on it, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's always interesting to see how many primetime games we get, ain't it? How many did we have last year? Did we have 5?
Yeah, I think was it 3 3 Monday, 2 Sundays, or one Thursday, 1 Sunday, 2, I don't know.
No, nobody ever plays more than one Monday night game, do they?
No.
And you only play one Thursday.
One Thursday.
Yeah. I always wonder why the 49ers don't.
Depends. I guess the Niners should have 2. I mean, it depends on the matchup. If the Niners
Sunday
and Eagles
games.
play.
You can get more than one Sunday game.
Yes. And you have a doubleheader Monday night game, week 1. 2 games on Monday night.
And some people get bumped. So, you know, if we're really kicking butt and the Rams are dragging ass and they've been scheduled for a Sunday afternoon or Sunday night, they get bumped. Oh, do you know how much pleasure I will take if we bump the Rams on a Sunday and make the Rams play in the afternoon?
Bump me big.
Oh, Rudy, I'm going to be all over you.
I don't care. I'll bump Rudy. Yeah, but I like how everybody's talking about which receiver I keep. I keep Aiyuk. The only way I keep Aiyuk, he reminds me of a little bit of a Jerry Rice and, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I can see Deebo's not like, you know what I mean? Deebo's starting to look injury prone, you know?
Yeah.
I like Aiyuk better. I like Aiyuk. I always like Aiyuk. It's something about Aiyuk. He's just, you know. Another good receiver you forgot about the 49ers was John Taylor.
Yeah, well, I meant that whole generation of receivers.
Yeah.
You know, but we haven't seen anything like that in a long time.
Nope.
TOs.
No, we haven't seen something like that. And you might not see that for a couple of years or maybe a decade. You don't know. Receivers come and go. It's like quarterbacks.
Generational players, exactly.
It's like quarterbacks, running back, receivers, centers, offense. Each year is a different batch of good positions. So, like next year, there's supposed to be a good receiver from Ohio State, supposed to be the number 2 pick. You know, a lot of quarterbacks are coming out next year. So, but yeah.
What did they say about this year's quarterback class? Before it started, what they didn't say. There wasn't a lot of It was had abundance, but there wasn't a lot of talent.
Really,
that they were
nothing to shine like. I mean, I hope the guys that got picked in the first round to be pretty good. I hope there's none of them that will be bust, like the guy from the Colts or
Bryce is too small.
Bryce, yeah, too small. He's too small. He's like a little mouse.
He's gonna get hurt.
He's too tiny. No, he's gonna be like the guy from Miami, concussion prone. You watch. A small quarterback doesn't survive in the NFL. No small quarterback survive.
I mean, that's true.
When was the last time a small quarterback did great?
I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Russell Wilson. Well, that's it.
No, Russell Wilson, yeah. That's it. But anybody else that was small didn't last long.
But Russell Wilson's built like a fire hydrant, and I don't.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really considered small.
No, but I just felt bad for him with how he played last year. I felt bad, like, oh my God, Russell, this is not supposed to be you. You're supposed to be good. You were awesome in Seattle. What happened?
Yeah,
you dropped. You dropped like a bomb.
His body's taking a lot of abuse. I think he's hurt. I don't think he can carry on. Can you imagine being sacked over 40 times a year for years?
Oh,
your body's got to be.
Your body can't take it. Your body can't take it. Once your body gets hit so many times, that's it.
Joints, ringing in the ears,
concussions. Your knees.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Look how many quarterbacks get it. I just can't wait to see Trey. I just can't wait. I know the Niners. I heard my friend told me the Niners have 5 quarterbacks on the roster. They got that guy from Seattle, XFL. I said, "Oh wow, is he going to be?"
Well, that's just for rookie
camp. The next line. Yeah, it's almost like a lunch line. Who's next?
They're not going to stay there after next week.
No,
rookie camp is only a couple of days, so they get paid.
Yeah, but you never know.
Pocket money.
He could. Hey, let the Niners bring as many quarterbacks in. They go in and out like traps. They get hurt so fast.
Well,
when you get,
maybe Thornton.
That's the problem. I don't want to see that ever again. I don't want to see us go through all those quarterbacks ever again. I hope this will be the last.
And also, Michael, if your last quarterback isn't better than Josh Johnson, don't keep him.
Oh, Johnson, you and I could have played better than Josh Johnson.
I know this,
the ball better.
And I would not have been that kind of scared. I'm more concerned without winning this football game. Josh is worried about being killed. Why are you playing football?
Ronbo, you would have been awesome on the field. You've been doing the Rumble. Oh my God, you would have rocked in that field. They'd be saying your name out there.
You got to come after him. You got to go for it. You got to be a warrior. If you're not a warrior born.
When I saw him, he might have been a little kid afraid. He's like a little kid. He's afraid.
Him and Dante Pettis.
Yeah. They're a little afraid. Come on. Be a man. If you're getting paid, play like a man, not like a little kid. If I was a coach, I would have thrown him out. Like, screw you, get the hell out.
He didn't have any choice. He was the last guy standing.
I know, he didn't. I know, he's the last man standing. I would have called somebody from the fans. Anybody want to play? Do it up. We need...
Deebo's still mad about that.
Say, Steve, want to come and play? I'm going to call Steve Young. Say, Steve, let's go. Get your number 8 on.
Yeah. Deebo's still pissed off about that. He's telling people the other day, if we had a quarterback, that game would have been different. Deebo, you know what?
Yeah, but it's the offensive line. I mean, look at the tight end trying to block the guy. Come on, the tight end couldn't do nothing. There's another one. Well, let the quarterback get hurt.
He did.
We need a big tight end that can,
Yeah, you don't want to put George out there on Riddick.
No, forget it. George the Animal, man. Forget it.
But, Charlie Warner would have did a better job. I don't know why Tyler Kroft was out there. Kyle, see, those are the things that people question Kyle about. Why did you have Tyler Kroft in that situation? Is Tyler really the better guy?
That's a big mistake.
In practice?
Kroft was a big mistake. That's a big mistake. That was a big mistake putting Kroft in there. That's like putting your death wish in there. No, that was a big mistake.
Man.
He could have thought something else. He could have done something different. I hope he learns his lesson now. I hope Shanahan learns his lesson. If not, that could be one coach to be singing the blues someday. I hate to see that, but, I wonder what George Seifert, and all them old 49 coaches would have been saying to him. I wonder what his father would be thinking.
I always wonder what his father's saying. I wonder if they get in arguments on the phone.
I want to know what Mike Shanahan's father is thinking about what his son is doing. Come on, son. I never talked to the coach like
They talk all the time. So,
yep.
Clock ticked out on us. Let me. I tell you what. See you on scheduled day coming up in a couple of days.
That scheduled day. Yep. Everybody predicts the schedule. That's it.
All
right, Ronbo, good night. Good night.
You too, fam. Appreciate you getting in there, Mike. Night, fam. Big win out in this big truck, making their big bucks. Big win.
What's going on, Ronbo?
Well, I saw some preemptive worrying. You know how we do as 49er fans. We expect perfection at all times. We don't want no issues. Although big win, we become an elite team. But we got a lot of bad men on this team. And now, we ain't going to be able to keep all of them big win. And so, you look at Defoe, that was a bad boy. Never got hurt, played every day, and played tough. And now we lose him, right? And now you look at...
Yeah, one of the stupidest mistakes we ever made.
Oh, it's never going to be gotten over. And then you lose Azus Al-Shar was good. But think about that. As good as he was, we had to let him go. And then you look at the fact being trimmed. They're going to trim some more in the next couple of years probably. And Aiyuk and Deebo. Could they be something to look at in the future? And if you had to, but the way it's going to look, maybe not. But if you had to get rid of one or the other, what you going to do?
No doubt about it. I'm getting rid of Deebo. You know what I'm saying? Aiyuk stay in shape. Deebo, he don't stay in shape. He waiting till the last minute to get in shape. I'm like, no. But anyway, I wanted to say this, Ronbo. I got to get this off my chest. You got to get off that damn Kinlaw train, man. Kinlaw is 100% bust. You know what I'm saying? Every time you think about saying something good about him, reach back there by Joe Montana and slap yourself.
Big Win, I just feel sorry for the boy.
Because they would lose getting rid of it. That's the only reason they haven't got rid of it.
Cap
you know what
hit.
I'm saying? Otherwise, he would be gone already.
Cap hit.
Dead. Man, what he
money.
play? 2-3 games a year in his last, that is ridiculous.
He hasn't done nothing. His one highlight was picking off Jared Goff in that game against the Rams. But beating up on the Rams is nothing special. So you have to almost discount that.
And that what's that guy's name? God, I heard him last night. Marketing Slow or whatever his name is.
Marketing.
That is the man I ever heard in my life. That man is on drugs, man. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with him.
Because when he says what he says, it's crazy. He sounds serious, don't he?
He believes that too. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, I wanted to just cut in. I was like, no, I ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But man, that man is right there is utterly ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I cannot believe it.
Especially when he ends up finally saying, yeah, we gonna bring in, Matthew Dime's staff. You know how he do. Hey, what? Your boy led the league in INTs and pick sixes if Dak wouldn't have beat him out. And what you guys going to do? Everybody left the team. Your offensive line is going to be trash again. You picked up a rookie. You think he's going to save you. But marketing still be going off in these tangents. And his boy, Rudy, Ramilius Sports is just as bad. They're sitting there cutting. Rudy's getting on shows talking about, well, the 49ers got to realize they're just not the same as they used to be. We beat the Rams' ass for every year. 12 times we lose 1 out of 13. And they're just not who they used to be. Well, what does that make you? You just got Rams. What are you doing? What are you talking about? It's amazing.
Man, I'm going to tell you, Ronbo, I done been to at least 40 Ram and 49er games. And I'm telling you, the majority of the time, we always kick their butt. Even the year we had 2 wins.
It was both them.
2 wins we had was against the Rams.
Big win. This goes back for generations. The Rams they had the best, they had the greatest team on turf. All right, that was a year. But before that and after that, I'm beating the Rams' ass all the time.
Nothing. They had nothing. But anyway, I just wanted to get in. I hadn't been on in a while. I've been listening, but I hadn't get on in a while. But I had to get on when I heard Marker and Slow.
He does inspire people, don't he? Because he sounds serious.
That man must know. He must be on Molly or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. I mean, that man.
That's why I bring him in. You know, the dude is funny because, like you say, he sounds serious. He is serious. Marketing Pro, you know, you can come in anytime. I'm telling you, but you kill me.
He believes. Rams nation, man, please. Rams ain't never had a nation.
And Big Win, my favorite. Yeah, we gonna go 12-5.
that really killed me right there. You could win 12 games if they gave you 2 seasons. You know?
We're talking about a team.
Anyway, Ronbo,
all out rebuild.
What's up, people want to get in, man? I just wanted to holler at you, man.
Big Win, I appreciate you know that.
For you on Thursday, because Thursday I'll be off, so I'm.
Oh, you rolling down the road right now? All right.
Yeah. No, I'm actually sitting here waiting on my load. So.
Okay.
But
well, Big Win, I'm glad you had time to call us. And
yeah.
We'll look at that schedule.
I'll be listening to some of these crazy Ram fans coming over here.
I know, man.
They don't have a station to go on. Why they always got to come on our station?
Well, they got Rudy, but Rudy's over here too. You see, it's a hopeless situation in LA.
Rudy's live on his channel.
Is he right now?
His channel, and he just leaves all of his litness. No. No, I'm saying Rudy's live on his channel, and then he's on Ronbo at the same time, and he just leaves all his followers on there when he's not even talking.
You see, Win, you got to figure. There's a lot of teams around the NFL that wish they had a background like the 49ers. So what they do, their only hold card when they're arguing and start talking trash, ain't you guys dusting off them old nasty age trophies, man? Y'all ain't won nothing in the 21st century, blah, 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 blah. You know, I always laugh and say, you know what? Even if the 49ers take a rest for 30 years, y'all never will catch up. So you know what? You go ahead and get excited about that trophy.
It took 50 years.
I know.
You know?
But y'all's trophies is too old. They think Lombardi's have an expiration date on it. So when you have nothing else to say.
In that trophy case, they don't look old.
I think somebody shines them up all the time. So, you know, NFL legacy is what it is.
We're going to get on out of here, man. And like we always say, man, love, peace, and air grease, man. You have a good one. We'll holler at you later.
Looking forward to a big win. Hopefully you got time Thursday so we can talk about them 2 wins, automatic 2 wins against LA. Oh, I'm sorry, Inglewood. Night, big win. Drive carefully out there, fam. It is.
All right.
Big win. Oh, God. Well, we got a trucking contingent that's just awesome, ain't they? All of them is just so cool. Yo, Anderson.
What's going on, Ronbo, man?
Anderson, man, we sit up here talking about our team is so good now. We've gotten to the point now where we're going to have to give up something at some point. Not yet, but you know, we done already lost a couple people, and that could get worse. We could see a whole new team in about 5 years.
Hey, Ronbo, I'm in to cut you out, man, but I'm going to agree with the other caller. It's got to be Ronbo, because motherfucker. And the games we really do need you in, you be hurt. I ain't gonna lie, we be hurt. And Aiyuk, man, he come through. You gotta look how he did CeeDee Lamb in that game last year. Bitch, get out the way, knocked him on his ass. That boy tough. And then it's the thing, and then if we get to see this here, if Mr. Ronnie Bell Jr. get to make an appearance this season, I'd like to see him and Aiyuk on the field. Let Ronnie Bell go and take the top off. Let that boy Aiyuk get that crossing route, take it on in. Because you know, and this is another thing. This is another thing. I got to go back to that Super Bowl in 2013 when we played the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I feel Quinn Patton should have got the ball more.
Oh,
if y'all remember Quinn Patton?
I forgot about him.
I think he should have got the ball more.
Instead
of them just using him on the kickoff all the damn time.
That's right. He was our kickoff guy. I forgot all about him. You know, Kyle does that. Once you become designated to the kickoff return, you don't get to do a lot more. You notice that? Because even Ray got a little bit of play, but mainly Ray's job was to bring that ball back.
But if you look at what the Ravens did in the draft this year, if you look at what they did in the draft, I think it's gonna be. Hey man, it could possibly be a rematch between us and the Ravens.
Yeah, because he's got OBJ. If OBJ stays healthy for Lamar, y'all look out. And they don't they have a good running back over there too? That's all Lamar needed was a dependable running back.
Yep. But anyway, back to what's going on at hand. I think Cowboys, they might be the fourth game.
Hey, you get some inside information on it? How'd you find that out?
Well, now to see how they got. See, it just had like the first half of the season, and it had the Cowboys up there, and it was like, who was it? I think it was the Rams first. Then it was the Cardinals, then the Rams, then I can't remember who it was, but then they had the Cowboys.
You're probably right because they don't normally start off with interconference games in the first week, do they? It's usually because we start off the year with Chicago.
Chicago up there too. I think Chicago was like a third game at home, but these were all the home games at the top. It just had all the home games, and then on below it had all their away games. So they really wasn't in order. They just wasn't in order.
Yeah, they're gonna throw that into their computer and come out with several models and pick the one they like the best. And so
but the 49ers and the Cowboys is in the top 5 for the most watched, most wanted to see games.
Well, that makes sense, right? I mean, come on now. Eagles, Patriots. Eagles, and of course the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Kansas City Thieves.
Yeah, I know, right?
What I call it. And
right.
the last caller, I forgot what he said. Can't remember what caller it was, but you're right. Jerry Rice was only do what he was able to do because of John Taylor.
Yeah, you got to have somebody to spin off of. True. Otherwise, that you can double team him. Because John Taylor, if Jerry Rice isn't in the picture, John Taylor is probably in the Hall of Fame. Because damn, that dude was good. But Rice was just extraordinary. So,
but this season, man, Trey Lance gonna have a good season, man.
Vegas believes so too.
But either way, if we don't, Purdy is gonna take over, and this time it's not gonna be no goddamn Tyler Croft. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna probably be I'm gonna just say Braden Willis because he look like he'll knock your ass out.
And whoever plays that spot, they're going to be told, last year this was one of the most important jobs out there. Get it done. Because nobody wants to look like Tyler Croft ever again. He will be blamed for that forever.
Yeah, for real. Because I don't want Kittle to hurt himself because, Kittle like to do wrestling, like to wrestle and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I don't want him to hurt himself.
George is an animal. He would get hurt trying to stop somebody, or they're going to get hurt. But somebody go get hurt.
Yep. But still, I don't want him to get a lingering pain. You know what I'm saying? To come out of when he just went up, feel like I can't go or something. I can't go right now.
Anderson, you know what's funny about George Kittle though? He put a flat jacket on, go right out there, but George is like,
he's crazy.
Pain. He doesn't care. George played with a bad leg before too, and he on the field didn't look like anything's wrong. The coach had to make him sit down. Yep.
And you know what's crazy? I remember, what it is. A lot of us got to understand a lot of the plays that we do, the passes, all of them are timed. the quarterback got to hit the receiver. The ball it's got to be in stride.
And yeah,
it got to be in stride.
Throwing the guy open, exactly.
It got to be right there at the specific spot, and the receiver got to be there at the same time in the receiver spot so he can take off down the field. Because I'm just noticing some. I'm just noticing some of what he's doing with the offense. I'm just looking to see he went away from what he did in Atlanta the last couple 3 seasons. Now I see him kind of bringing that back with all the tight end selection. I see him kind of bringing that back. He wants to throw the ball downfield.
He does, but he wants somebody like you say, Ronnie Bell, because Danny Gray. I'm not sure what's going on there, but Ronnie Bell has a reputation for being able to do that. Because what people have to understand is a deep threat is distinguished by that term because he is a deep threat. He's good at getting open, he's good at tracking the ball, and he's got hands. Everybody doesn't have that skill set.
Yeah. Make the linebackers back up. You know what I'm saying? Make everybody play. Hey, we gotta play right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, we got Kittle, Deebo, and this new motherfucker in here, man. Damn, man, how we gonna do this? That's
Anderson,
what's going on the defense side.
Anderson, remember when we had Marquise Goodwin, that was the year that and Marquise ain't the greatest, but he is good enough to scare people to death. Remember that year that George Kittle set his record? He was cutting off the tail of Goodwin almost. It looked like a ballet. They both hit off the line and sometimes at the same side of the field. You see Goodwin taking in and Kittle cutting inside. Boom, ball right there. Kittle for that large gain. You have to respect the speed.
And that was C.J. Beathard.
It was Mullins and Beathard, I think. Yeah, Mullins?
Yeah.
One of them. I think it was Mullins. But yeah, that is an element you have to have. And Kyle has the whole organization hasn't been serious about trying to find that kind of guy until last year. And they got Danny, and Danny didn't get no time to play.
Yeah. He probably couldn't block. He probably too small. Probably couldn't block.
I know, that's what we all think. And I think that's got to be it. Because he can run, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But that's all we need to do, Kyle.
Get his speed.
All we need to do, but that dude, like I say, because like what Coach Carlo said, previous caller, why would you put a no good tight end who been prostituted all across the league? You know what I'm saying?
In that position.
In the game. Yeah, that was kind of stupid. So, like I say, we got to draft this dude a brain, man. We got to draft him a brain.
Anderson, we got to go.
He got
I agree.
Man.
I see you Thursday, schedule time.
Oh, yeah. I will be in tomorrow night.
All right.
Empire going down. Love you, baby. Ronbo, shout out to you.
Thanks, fam. Appreciate you, Anderson. Have a great night, fam. Well, it's a big show. Big show.
Yes, sir.
Big show.
How are you tonight, Ronbo?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. Now that we're getting closer and closer and closer. Because, it's Big Show, every time we leave the season, I always feel like, damn it, we got to wait for how long before we get back here and get some revenge? And before you know it, here we go again. What do you think, show? And by the way, touch upon anything else you want to talk about, but touch upon, and I already know, but I just want to hear it again, between Deebo and Brandon Aiyuk, as you explained, as to John Lynch, as we learn to read between the lines when Mr. Dimples is talking. John.
Like I told you in the beginning, before the draft started this year, just pay attention to his body language. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
It's that simple. But people stop getting emotionally attached to players because you would ruin this business if you
do that.
Use your emotions rather than your brains to make a smart business decision. And if my memory serves me correctly, and it's a pretty good memory that I have, I remember us having this exact conversation between Deforest Buckner and Eric Armstead.
Yep.
And including myself, we all built up the consensus that Eric Armstead was going to be the one that was going to be traded.
And got our feelings hurt.
And yeah, exactly. They do the opposite of what we feel and who we feel should stay on this team for a long, long time. and you're all getting it wrong. Like, you can't get a first round pick out of Deebo Samuel. You can out of Brandon Aiyuk.
Yep.
If you can even get a third round pick out of it too.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can acquire 2 picks for Brandon Aiyuk, and if that's
especially
the case, and some
especially
team
from a
offers
contender, especially from a contender, because they don't need those picks.
And
they just need Brandon.
They saw that they could get a first round pick out of Deforest Buckner, which was pick number 13, and if we can get pick number 13 again for Brandon Aiyuk, the fall for the 2024 draft, then they're absolutely going to pull the trigger on that.
I agree. That's what they do.
You know, like,
that's
you
what
can't
they
keep
we
two $20 million receivers.
You do, and you have to learn to respect what they do. Don't think with your heart. Think with the mind of the 49ers. They're going to get rid of the guy that can get the most back. And Deebo is not that guy.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It's not crazy if you think about it.
Who is that?
From a business standpoint.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that, but
Easy.
yeah, you know, just don't think these contracts are meaningless. They mean absolutely nothing in the NFL. And as cliche as it sounds, NFL really does stand for not belong. Just because you have a contract for the team for 4 years signed on the line, that doesn't mean they're not going to trade you, or you can't come in here and concretely say that somebody's not going to go anywhere. That's so 100% not true, because a player could overnight go on his Instagram and break all of our hearts and retire all of a sudden out of nowhere. You know, like, a player could be traded overnight while we're all sleeping. You know,
and that's usually when they do it.
Anything.
You look at your notifications. What? Turn the light on. What?
Yep.
You know?
Andrew Luck shocked the world and retired. I mean, come on.
I'm worried about Trent Williams too.
You know,
if we don't come up with the goal this year, we're going to be looking for a left tackle next year. I'm telling you.
I have no doubt that's going to be our draft pick. The first round next year is going to be a left tackle. And if you could get if you could get another first round pick next year for Brandon Aiyuk, that's going to be they're going to draft a left tackle and draft a replacement for Brandon Aiyuk.
Because now it becomes a matter of priority and what's most needed.
Yeah. So you do the smart business decision and not what your feelings tell you. I mean, you can't keep this band together forever. This isn't, this isn't a family. It's a business.
As long as it evolves and continues to get better. But like Belichick. But he had Brady. And Brady says, I don't need any money. Just keep some solid players around me. I can make my own money, now that you guys have made me a star. Well, we don't have anybody like that. And so that's what worries me,
Belichick would get rid of Nick Bosa.
He really would, You're right. If Bosa asks for too much money, he's got to go. And he would still contend. That's what would amaze everybody. And you'd see a name on the screen. Who the hell is that? The guy's good. That would always be the bottom line.
Yeah, like, just don't put your feelings into players. Like, this is exactly why people misunderstand me, because I'm all about the name on the front. I've always been that way. I am not beholden to anybody or any player. If they can get us draft capital back, if they can save us money, or we can go allocate that money elsewhere, then I am all for that. Like, it's a business, man. It's a business. It's a ruthless, cold-hearted business. Like, you have to have somewhat of a cold heart.
So from where you
understand it,
from where you said, it's less stressful actually, because a lot of us go through a lot of trauma, getting wrapped up in the players.
And depression, even like some fans get depressed. Like,
I've been there. That's why I work out like I do, to get rid of some of that stress. God, it bothers me.
Yeah, it's not worth like putting your life emotions towards like players and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, let it go.
So the thing is,
come on.
You look at professionals and they do what they do in the front offices around the NFL, and you really truly believe that they just made a mistake. Now, we just mentioned Deforest Buckner. We got rid of Deforest Buckner, and we got back Javon Kinlaw.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to work out, but it didn't. And that's why I say, these things backfire a lot. And this could be one of those times. And it's, I say, oh, man,
But to be quite honest with you, we did fine without Deforest Buckner. We still led the defense. We still were the number one defense in the league, and we're first in pretty much almost every category.
That's true.
That you could think of, and you know what I mean. So I mean,
can't argue that.
Who cares? You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Big Win, let me get this straight, Big Win, because he does not want to hear me talk about Javon Kittle on a good win. Well, I'm just saying I feel sorry for the kid. You know, he's supposed to come over and do well. His knee won't act right. He comes
I don't
from
feel
family.
sorry for. I don't feel sorry.
I know you don't.
I don't feel sorry for anyone cares.
You know, poor guy. Come on, Javon, you can do it. I want to see him do well so bad. I want to see him in the rotation. I want us all to be saying, "Oh, Larry, look at Javon! Oh, God, that was beautiful." I want to be able to do that. So.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like you. This is why you need to. It's all about the name on the front, man. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
If you want to, if you can improve somewhere where you can improve on, then by all means go do it. And if it doesn't work out, get over it. You know, like who cares if it was a miss? Like as long as the whole team is doing well, then who cares? You know, and we're winning. Who cares if it's a miss?
So you're saying
you can afford misses like that,
and keep moving forward,
especially for a winning culture. So which we are.
Yeah.
So
for the most part. All right.
Mic drop.
Well, Show, always appreciate your. Joe, I have to give a name to some of the things you say. I'm going to come up with that later. But showisms.
There you go.
Always love it.
Shout out to Donut and T, whom I do dearly miss. We need
we
need more of them on here. America's favorite couple and my favorite couple. Shout out to all the Tonys. Shout out to TNT Fam and Ellis and all the guys out there who call in. And yeah, so y'all take care. Have a great night.
Appreciate the show. You take
all
care
about
too.
the name. All about the name on the front. Remember that, people.
Don't get emotionally
attached. All about
attached.
the name on the front.
Yes. Okay. Night show. It's easier said than done, though. You know, I really, wow. It's just, I've been this way about NBA when I was watching them seriously, and even as a kid, baseball. When I heard about a big deal be made over the year. You know, I'm 12 years old. They make these big deals involving 2 and 3 teams. Is so-and-so involved? Oh, no. And I'd sink down. And, you know, I couldn't take it. Not seeing my favorite guys on any field or on any gym or any guy. It just bothers me. Because the team decided to make another deal that's going to make them better. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Tony. Well, Tony,
Ronbo.
Hey, Tony, you know, I tell you what, Tony, show's talking about don't get emotionally attached to players. I guarantee you, even show would grimace if the 49ers got rid of George Kittle next week for a couple of first-round picks. That would piss me off to no end. You know what? There are certain, you know what? Some people complain that they're durable and can take anything, but I don't know about that. But then, Tony, go ahead. Come on in. Well, I'm making that choice between Deebo, and I think I've already asked you this question before, or you volunteered it, between Deebo and Aiyuk. But go ahead. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, well, I think Show's right in one sense that it's all about the name on the front. And because it's all about the name on the front, I'm not getting rid of Deebo. I'll get rid of Kyle Shanahan before I get rid of Deebo.
I should have known you were going to come in that way.
I'll team
Jalen, he beat you to
it. I'll team up. I'll team John Lynch and Wilkes together. I'll get the enemy down here and let's go.
Ooh. The enemy's unproven, though, as a head coach. I wonder.
This is an offensive play caller, whatever you want to call it. I'll bring some Hall of Fame dudes in to help out with the team and motivate the boys. And let's go, yeah. Look, Deebo and Aiyuk, look at poor Aiyuk, Ronbo. I feel sorry for him just as much as I feel sorry. Big Win. I don't normally go against my brethren, but you know, I feel sorry for him just as much as I feel sorry for Javon. Javon, I'll join the bandwagon when I see a full season out of him And if he doesn't play well, well, so be it. But he hasn't had that chance, Ronbo. He hasn't had the chance to play a full season because of Kyle probably rushing him back too early, or whoever else is involved in that horse shit. You know what I mean? Let the person recover fully. Get somebody else to fill in for him. You know what I mean? If he's that important to you, it makes sense.
Agreed.
But Deebo, you know, I'm keeping him, man. Look what he does to the Rams every time we play the Rams. Look what he was doing to
the Hawks too.
Kansas City Chiefs.
God, I love that.
In the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, and numbnuts stopped running him.
I will always question that, and I try not to do that with Shanahan, but that was just, it's working. Kyle, don't go away from it until it doesn't.
Well, look at his dad. He lied on national TV, mate. Right? He lied.
In
front of everyone on national TV.
You repeated that. What was that lie about?
It was about RG3.
Oh.
They said to him, why did you put him back on the field? All right? I don't know how to do what you do, Ronbo, and put the thing on Twitter. That's why I send it to you in direct messages. That's it. I'm not tech savvy, you know what I mean?
I couldn't wait. By the way, I got that little tidbit of Rudy going on and on with a lot of dribble with Grant from Tony found that. I couldn't wait to let you see it.
What a clown. He's a clown. Yeah, and what they asked him, why did you put RG3 back on the field? And he said, well, the doctor looked at him and, and said everything was good, and RG3 back on the field. And then they asked the doctor, and the doctor said, I didn't even touch him. I didn't even look at him.
Oh, this is stuff I've not been privy to. I had no idea.
I'll send it to you. You could see it for yourself.
Well, you know, Tony, here's the thing. I wonder about this connection between league doctors and organizations anyway, because you look at what happened to Tua, and even Mike McDaniel told Tua after he had been cleared by the doctors that he was not going back out on that field the first time. And then, of course, a week went by and he let him back out there. But the thing is, doctors are supposed to be better than that, and he's got to be fired if you tell me that this player's okay and he comes back in and he wasn't okay, and I find out that you failed in your effort to make the proper diagnosis. Now, we're in trouble here. I mean, that would be, wow.
There's a big difference between McDaniel and Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan just doesn't give a shit whether you're injured or not. Get out there and play. But you looked at him sideways one day, you know what I mean? Or probably just gave him some sort of a look and he put him in the dog box. Everybody in the whole entire league, including Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, whoever else you want to mention, knows what that kid's worth. All right? And he's been overlooked, and he had to make a season off his own back. Not because Shanahan was feeding him the ball. He just had to do like the tough kid that he is. All right? Every time he had the ball, he had to make something, do something with it to prove a point. And then that forces Kyle to have no choice but to keep him. All right? Because then you've got the media on your ass going, hang on a minute, this kid was playing lights out. What's going on here? You know, what's the problem?
Yeah.
Oh, he hurt my feelings, so I put him on the sideline. Piss off. You know what I mean, Ronbo?
Yeah.
And what's his name? I must be bloody coming down with some brain fog.
Kyle makes you crazy, Tony. I'm telling you. I could hear it in your voice. Tony wants to choke Kyle out.
Deebo is a player that breaks tackles like it's nobody's business, and he's used you can use him in a different format to what you can use.
That other teams don't even have.
Brandon Aiyuk is fast.
Oh, that's a beautiful
All right,
argument spot for Deebo. Deebo does things that no other team can do. Other teams wish they had a Deebo. See, this is a strong argument for Deebo. Aiyuk's a great wide receiver, but I'm not sure if he does what Deebo does, and that's why I say I don't want to lose either one. They work like yin and yang out on that field. I want them both.
All right, let me ask you a question, Ronbo. Have you ever seen anyone run Deebo down?
Well, I've seen him go, yeah. Last year we saw it a couple times. Tony, this is the one knock on Deebo. He needs to get in shape. Get some cardio. Deebo got ran down. Remember he was standing on the sideline with the oxygen mask on after one of those runs? He did get caught. And I thought to myself, Deebo, you can't have macaroni and cheese each and every day. You've got to eat lighter, and you got to get some cardio fitness in there. Well, I know you're strong as a bull, but you got to be smart. Deebo doesn't care. I got paid, y'all, and I'll eat what I want to eat. I'm worried that he's one of those guys.
No, don't worry about it, Ron. But I heard that he's been training really, really hard.
I hope so, because I haven't seen. Usually they put videos out. Maybe it's past that stage.
Well, I heard that he's been putting in the hours. He's been training hard, and I think even Deebo is no idiot, Rombo. All right, he's going to come out this year. He's going to come out this year. If he wants that second contract, he's got to prove a point. All right, so he's going to come out and play lights out. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about that kid. He's, like I said to you, no team's got a gadget player like Deebo. And if you put him out there on the market, he'll get snapped up
immediately.
100th of a second.
Tony, and he hears these whispers and stuff. He's not, Deebo's a social media guy. He knows. But Tony, we're going to go. On Thursday, we're going to have fun picking out 4 wins for sure. Maybe 6, actually. Yeah, it is going to be 6 from the conference alone.
Yeah.
Let me see you then, okay?
All right, brother. Rudy, keep talking shit on Grant Cohn's show.
I know, isn't he special?
That's embarrassing.
It really was. Well, that's not the same 49ers teams as Eddie Parcello. What? All right. Go ahead, Tony. You get a shout out.
Brother.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Papa Dragon, Big Show, Ellis, and all my brethren truck drivers out there, hardest working people on the planet.
I'm telling you, man, you guys are special. I love it. All right, Tony. Have a great day.
All right,
Be careful out there. All right.
See you, brother.
All right.
All right. I'll see you in the next chapter.
All right, fam. Bye, Tony. There goes Tony rolling. And what's up? What's Deebo? What's Big Show got going on here? Deebo has been working out with D-Hop and Saquon Barkley this offseason. Really? Hey, Deebo! I hope they give you some eating tips. Okay. A little lower calories during the season, Deebo. Come on, man. You're training hard right now. Go ahead and eat. But come September, streamline that diet. Small meals several times a day to kill your appetite, but keep that energy level high. Deebo, man, I need to sit next to you and watching you all day, man. We'll make sure you get into the season healthy. Hey, yo, Ellis!
Ron Dizzle.
Ellis.
Yo.
Ellis, we're sitting in the pre. Ellis, you know how much fun it's going to be Thursday looking at 6 games we know we're very capable of winning. That's 6 wins, and then we just need to get 7 or 8 more from the rest of the league, and we're in the playoffs. 15-2, and they called it back in May. As predictions were made, they would sweep through their own division, which automatically gave them 6 wins. And then, of course, they played the Dallas Cowboys and the Chicago Bears. That's 8. And I don't know who else was on the schedule, but you know what? Oh, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm feeling good about this season already. Ellis, let me stop about the schedule. It's not time yet. I'm talking about how we've gotten to the point now we have to sing songs like, farewell, and may your road be paved with goodness. Because some of these guys are going to get too expensive. So, but the Deebo versus Aiyuk, And nobody yet has said Deebo. Tony says he'd get rid of Kyle and keep Deebo and Aiyuk. That's the only change. but that doesn't save us any money, though, Tony. But it's funny.
Yeah, shout out my guy Tony, man. Drive safe out there, champ. Shout out to Big Win, man. Y'all drive safe out there, man. Getting that money. And yeah, well, that's basically it's a metaphor for Deebo ain't going no damn where, So what I think is going to happen, and what should happen at least, is there's going to be some money moved around, or a player, a high ticketed player that we might have to come off of.
Hargrave.
There's not many in this case.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, you mean we established a high ticket?
Eric Armstead.
Oh.
Eric Armstead. Not saying that that's what I want.
No,
however,
right. I forgot about that because what's his name? The guy we just picked up last year, Khalil, and also there's been some other guys that are coming in and they're going to get a look at.
Farrell, and that guy Bryant, and we got all these other guys. We just signed Marlon Davidson, who played for Auburn.
Who's that?
Yeah, and he played from. That's Marlon Davidson.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, 300 pounds. He's like 6'3" or something, 6'3", 6'4", 300 pounds.
Always one
big guy. He played
defensive lineman like
that.
Looking like an offensive lineman, but he plays defense.
Yeah, he played with Derek. What's his name? The one that for the Panthers, that defensive tackle. That's a monster.
I mean, Hawks got one of those too. His arms look like everybody else's waist, right?
What's his name?
I seen him.
He's a beast. So he played with him over there in Auburn, and they had a good team. He was pretty good, but I think he's going to get even better as the guys do when they come play with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. He's going to get the best out of that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's the perfect fit to help clog up that middle.
Mm-hmm.
Between him, Kalia Davis, and
Hargrave.
The other guys that we'll have moving in and out of there, T.Y. McGill.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys. They will totally clog the A-B yap.
Mm-hmm. It could be
and then
yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm glad. That was actually a good pickup. I was surprised at that one. I don't care for the quarterback, and then Fumagalli
coming back again.
I'm not
round two.
Well, these are just camp bodies. We need certain guys to execute. Execute certain things and,
so we can get a look at everybody.
Certain looks.
Yeah,
you need the right guys to do that.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was why I think they acquired Fumagalli, and he's, there's something that was likable about him for Kyle and whatnot. And like I said, we're just trying to.
Well, Fumagalli was a good football player. I don't know what's happened to him.
Yeah.
So he'll but he's not going to make it this time either. Though we have too many.
Well, and you notice, these tight ends that we drafted are some bigger, stronger guys. No more Tyler Soft. No more Tyler Soft physique looking guys. You know what I mean? That was just,
Good name for Tyler Soft.
Yeah, man. Shit. Hold on. He could have held him for a half a second. He just got plowed. You know what I mean?
Beat.
You gotta. But
Reddick just ran past him. Reddick got a piece of him as he went by. Not good enough.
Yeah, man. Soft. So, but yeah, no, those tight ends though. Some guys with some size that can sustain and hold a block. Those are guys that we're gonna need. Guys that can move. I would have put George Kittle in that position any day. I would have actually, wherever George was on that play, I would have replaced him with Ross or even Charlie Warner, and put George on the side where to pick up that block. I would have done it. I would have done it, and I would have never done anything different.
Yep.
And I bet you that play would have came out differently.
And I bet you Kyle would, if you had a discussion with him right now, he'd agree with you on every word. Kyle, when he does those things, he looks back on it and says, in hindsight, I would have done this, 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 and this. But Kyle, it's already failed. And you should have the insight, being a coach that you are, to know or expect that.
Yeah. And, I think Brock learned a valuable lesson from that, because I'm sure watching the play, he saw that Deebo actually broke wide open to the right, just outside of that, but he was trying to go upfield. He was trying to go for the big
make the
play,
home run.
which I'm not mad. I'm not mad at him. He just has to understand you only get a certain amount of time in that pocket, dude.
And that's why
So
Kyle
it's
teaches
like
you the
check
way he
down,
does.
check down. It's like 1, 2, 3, check down.
Don't
you
force things.
The high pressure situations like that against a defense like that, he would have preserved himself, and that would have never happened if he would have just did the check down to Deebo. Deebo would have got, anywhere from 7 or more yards on that
just
play.
Step up in the pocket. You don't have to step up. Get a better look.
Yeah, go ahead and hitch forward. Exactly. Yeah, man.
But he's a rookie, and that's why I keep saying people say, "Oh man, he guys 8 games, okay?" Wait a minute, he's learning, and he's already at this level. When he learns, people underestimate him. I think he's going to be better than people think, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, you know me, I'm a Niner, and I'm a Trey guy, and I love what Brock Purdy did.
They both got to learn.
And
They got to go through things.
I have the highest of hopes, for what he does moving forward. Was very impressed with what he's able to do, and
Say good night to Tommy Huxley.
Great manager.
Night, Tommy. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, he did really well. So, no knock on him, but yeah, I don't know the Deebo Aiyuk thing. I hope that doesn't become a thing.
I know, right?
Because Deebo's an all-around better playmaker. However,
and a
Brandon
machine.
Aiyuk can do some things, even like with D. Like I could imagine, Aiyuk doing running some of the plays. Obviously not the run plays, but with
ball
the
across the
motions,
line,
the
just buried outside the line of scrimmage,
stuff
taking
like
a ball
that.
screen.
He ran a jet sweep before, and he got loose.
Yeah,
I forgot what. I think that was the game where they had Aiyuk running some of Deebo's plays. Was that last season when we did that, or the year before, or something like that?
I remember within the last 2 years. I think it was the year before last. But I know. You can run those plays.
He was looking good, man.
And Deebo finally got figured out on doing that play a lot. He got stopped early because they gang tackled him with 3 and 4 guys because they knew which corner he was coming around. So you got to mix it up.
Well, and that falls on Kyle.
Yeah,
Kyle's got to switch that shit up.
Well, fam, we're going to go and look forward to Thursday so we rub it in the face of our rivals that love to hang in this chat talking trash about how many games we go win and have a good time with that.
Yeah. Rudy was live streaming and listening to your live stream in the background on his own show. That's how that's we could hear you in the background while he had 4 people in there. People are like, what the hell is that? Because like that sounds like Ronbo.
Because he knew I was going to talk about it. But I posted him up after Tony handed me the goods yesterday. I said, oh no, he didn't. Tony, I mean, he got on Grant's show and was talking major trash about, pretty much he was insinuating the Rams are a much better organization. And this trophy, this stats we resurrected from Sean McVay, it's very well warranted. I'm looking at him, what the hell? 1 Super Bowl win. You've had how many seasons of success, and he gets a trophy? I mean, he gets a statue? What is that? And Rudy tried to make it sound like it was legitimate. Oh, my God. I got to show everybody this who hadn't seen this yet. God. Anyway.
Yeah, he gained 1 subscriber, Ronbo, so, obviously that shit wasn't hitting for nothing. But anyway, it's all goody. Shout out to the faithful, man. Y'all know where y'all at, man. It's for life, man. Shout out to all my Niner faithful family and everything. Y'all know what it is. Keep on getting them in the chat, y'all. Thank you, Ronbo, for the platform as always. Shout out production.
Appreciate you, fam. Shout out to that squad. We love them. Love you. And we'll see you Thursday with celebration time.
Yes, sir. Peace, man.
Night, Ellis.
Night.
And let us bring in that man of Reno. Here's KC.
What's shaking, Rumble?
Casey, the NFC West and everybody in it, not named San Francisco 49ers. The schedule's coming out Thursday. Yeah. Oh! But Casey, I haven't asked.
Yeah,
have you been asked
right.
this question yet? If you had to make a choice, we don't have to anytime soon, I don't believe. But if you had to make a choice between Deebo and Aiyuk, which direction would you take?
I mean, I think show's crazy, Ronbo. I'm not sure what it, he's saying you can't get a first for Deebo. There's probably a few teams out there that would throw out a first for Deebo and some sort of package like, something like that. I mean, but we're
not.
If you package like Deebo and a 7th rounder or 5th rounder, yeah, you can get a first for Deebo. Why not? But
Casey, you're right. Are we underrating Deebo to some degree?
100% show is. I'm not, but
see, that's why I can't make a choice. If people say you got to get rid of one, what you gonna do? Oh, don't. I'm not gonna answer this question. I cannot answer this question. But some people answer it right.
Hey, what did Tony from Australia say that Rudy was on? What's that show called? Cone's Kids Table? Is that what it's called?
He was with Grant, yeah. And Rudy he's sitting there, he's reading his notes, he's going through all this about how the 49ers aren't this. This ain't the same 49er team back with Eddie DeBartolo. Winning.
Rombo, they don't have a Rombo Sports,
Casey, the thing is, when you've done as much as 49, Harbaugh was a number. Kyle Shanahan, they think relevance means you win the Super Bowl every year. If you don't, like they just finally won one, that means you're not relevant. Well, that means they haven't been relevant up until 2021 either. But they don't say that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You guys are weird.
What happened to the Rams is Tom Brady killed the Rams in the Super Bowl, and then it took them 20 years to come back from that. But Rob, I'm not here to talk about Cone's Kids Table. I'm here to talk about Trevor Ronbo. And
get back to Deebo and Aiyuk.
I like what Ellis was saying about reworking the contracts and stuff, because you got to keep Aiyuk.
You do. You
and
really
if
do.
you can't,
Premier
I hope it goes
receiver.
to the AFC.
Me too. It's too hard to get that kind of receiver, Casey. Both him and Deebo, they are rare. I mean, these guys are do what they do and they do it well, and that's why it's.
I'm gonna be pissed if he goes to Minnesota, or something like that.
God. Well, I'm trying to think of a team you think you'd be happy with if Deebo. I mean, I can't think of. Think of a team that you could actually put up with if Deebo went to it. No place in the NFC West. I just can't. Tampa Bay, maybe.
The Cleveland Browns.
Now, see, that's wishing bad on Deebo. That's a very poor organization.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Trent Baalke would take him in a heartbeat. There's no doubt in my mind. I'll take Deebo Samuel and I'll put him together with the rest of his crew, and I hope the 49ers are on our schedule, and he'll come back with a vengeance. Trent, shut up. He's not coming to Jacksonville.
Plus, I heard the player was injured, and you guys know what we do with those injured players around here. So.
We duct tape them up, and we put them on reserve, and we get them ready for the next 3 weeks. Hurt doesn't mean finished. It just means incapable of it at the moment. You people don't know anything about personnel. That's my job. All right, Tim. We failed how many times? So you're like me. You're thinking Deebo may be underrated by some of us, and that's not the choice you want to have to make. Yeah. Oh, Robert Saleh would take Deebo in a heartbeat too, and he would give you a first-round pick. Ooh. Aaron Rodgers would go nuts. Deebo?
Oh, man, yeah.
You talking about that guy from San Francisco? Hell yeah, let's go. Oh, man, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah. Well, Ronbo, I saw Dan Orlovsky said that Sam Darnold could lead the 49ers to the Super Bowl.
I saw that. I saw that.
And so after I saw that, I looked at some Sam Darnold highlights, and you know what, man? Mm-hmm. He's kind of like the ginger Jimmy G. He throws a good ball.
He those last few weeks with the Panthers, people don't want to pay attention to that, but Sam Darnold looked damn good. I'm talking
The Panther fans love Sam Darnold.
That last 6 weeks when he's 4-2, Sam Darnold was dealing. He looked really good. I never seen that in him before. So I don't know.
Carolina gave us everything last year. Oh man,
they did, didn't
they? Carolina's punching their racist air right now, Ronbo. I gotta tell you, man.
Oh, CMC!
Hey, Ronbo,
I just gave him up.
I'm not telling it like it is, Ronbo. I'm just,
No,
it's what it is. So.
I think Kyle, because they were running Kyle's offense for reasons unknown. Because I guess they knew Kyle would love that, right? But yeah, he was doing the short passes. He was hitting guys coming across the middle in stride and timing routes and stuff like that.
Oh, Ronbo, I just realized that's probably why Sam and Christian McCaffrey were hanging out.
You saw that, right?
At
the Warrior game?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. Did you see that part where 20 cheerleaders went up to Sam Darnold and greeted only him?
Well, that's because Jimmy G wasn't
I'm
there.
just playing. I know, man.
No.
Jimmy used to shut the club down, man. Who the hell hates on Jimmy G, man?
I mean, you know what? If I was George and CMC, I wouldn't go anywhere with Jimmy anymore where there's going to be girls. Not like that, because come on, man. We're going to sit back there and look like shadows. It's good. Girls
I'm not going to miss the press conferences, man.
Yeah.
Where Jimmy can't take responsibility. That's the only thing. Other than that, he was getting better before he left, too, damn it.
I know. When Jimmy left, he was balling. So, or when he got hurt. But, that's fine because he was underappreciated. He wasn't really appreciated with the 49ers. So let him go, and maybe he can build another life for him. So he's back with the coach that raised him. So that's good on him.
So you going to get that MC Niner fathead or what?
There's a great idea. MC
what are we doing, Ronbo? We got hats now, man. We got to get the fat hats.
Joe
back.
here and MC
now,
here.
Ronbo.
Yeah, we'll be okay. But Casey, hey, Thursday, get ready, schedule time, so we can make jokes out of Inglewood. And hey, do the Seahawks
Ronbo,
play in Seattle, or do they play outside the suburbs too?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because Rudy loves to say, the Santa Clara Niners, disrespectful.
Hey, Rob, I'm going to say this right now. If it's a 49er Ravens Super Bowl and the Niners win, I'm going to get a Ronbo Sports tattoo. Be the only person in Reno.
I mean, the only person in the world,
Oh, man. Ronbo, we got hats now, man. I got to one up the hats. What can I do?
We got to get those out. There have been a few. I didn't think anybody was going to ask, but there has been a few people asking for those. So we're going to get that done as soon as possible.
Ronbo Sports bumper sticker.
Now you've gone too far.
Put it on all the Teslas out there in the Bay Area.
Oh. JKC, always fun. And see you Thursday, all right, fam?
Yeah. All right, Ronbo. I got annihilated tonight, Ronbo. I took the Celtics. Anyway, you have a great night, Ronbo.
Whoa. Did the Celtics lose? Is that series tied up? Are they going 7 games?
No, the Sixers are up now. And they're headed home.
Oh, without Embiid?
No, with Embiid.
Okay, played. Okay. Oh man, the Celtics have been a little screwed. Okay, anyway, I'll see you Thursday. Stay away. If Embiid's ready to play, don't bet against the Sixers. All right.
No, I'm gonna put money on the Nuggets, man. I like Frankenstein. He's my favorite player.
I know, man. Jokic. Man, that guy's scary. All right, Casey. I wish I could talk gambling with you for a few more minutes. We gotta go. All right. It's not Case. And Big Show says, hey, Deebo is viewed as a hybrid wide receiver to most teams, including ours. HBs have a short shelf life, and he's nearing 30. Aiyuk's younger, runs route tree. Yeah, no, I fully agree with that. I want to use him as long as we can. That's my thing. Because I know which one, the pure wide receiver is what you want. If you got one between two, you go with the wide receiver that really is a wide receiver versus the other guy, right? Because Deebo's just an OW. But we already have an OW. and they don't use him quite enough for me. I mean, when you think about what Juice could do if he was added to the mix a little more often, but we got the other guys we got to feed that ball to. Hey, Tony! Red Ice sent Deebo to Buffalo, where he brings
Ronbo, good evening. How you doing?
Pulled muscles. I'm laughing because Red Ice sent Deebo to Buffalo, that cold country. Cold weather is when a guy who has hamstring issues, the last place he wants to go is Chicago or Buffalo. Tony, that's just mean, Red Eye. Tony, I'm doing great, man. How you doing? It's almost Thursday and schedule time.
Yeah, in Chicago and Buffalo, they ought to put domes on those places.
I don't know. It's just 21st century. There's no need where Buffalo and Chicago, where men are men. Oh, y'all, put some. Fans don't need to be sitting in that kind of weather. God.
But the coldest place to play back when we were kids or before we were born was Minnesota. That's why the Vikings were so successful back in the 60s. Remember that?
Yes.
Old Metropolitan State.
And I
when
still
the sun
remember.
goes down, the temperature dropped like 30 degrees.
and they seem to play better football. And where Howard Cosell, the frozen tundra. Oh, no, that was the frozen tundra of Lambeau.
So it got a lot colder in Minnesota than they did in Lambeau.
All of it was ridiculous. In Buffalo, they'd be playing in them snowstorms. I mean, you couldn't even see nobody.
Yeah.
And this game, even as a little kid, I said, this game ain't no fun to watch, man. I can't see nothing.
But hey, Ronbo, the players have on the long underwear and all that. They don't feel that cold unless it's below zero.
No, and
like 30 degrees, they don't feel it.
And when you're playing and your adrenaline's rushing, you ain't feeling nothing. Although, as I do know, even in California where it gets chilly but not ice cold, when it is cold to me in California, when that ball hit your hands at high speed, it did sting. I'm trying to understand what it's like with frozen air. I can't imagine that.
Well, Ronbo, let me give you the scouting report. I heard you talking to Ellis. Former Atlanta Falcons 2020 second-round bust.
I understand that's what he's being called. Yeah, I saw that graphic.
Defensive end Marvin Davidson. Ronbo, 60% of the time he was always hurt. With this or that.
Oh, that's what his problem is.
40% of the time when he was, 40% of the time when he was on the field, he was unproductive. In 2.5 years, he only has 2 sacks.
That's not good. So he'll come in and they'll get a look at him. They're probably hoping they could put him on the depth team, but he's probably leaving. You can't be that bad.
Ronbo, he was
team.
A beast at Auburn. Ronbo, the reason why I'm being so harsh is because when we drafted him, I was happy because I saw his film, and he made me look bad because I talked good about him for 2 years. And he ain't playing again. He hurt again. Is his ankle? Is it what? What is it this time?
Yeah.
Then we on the field, he does nothing. You don't even hear from him.
He's probably scared. You know what? I get a feeling sometimes those guys that are hurt all the time, they're trying to play carefully. Tony, you can't play this game carefully because if you do, you're going to get hurt anyway.
No.
So and you're not going to get anything done.
Worse. Yep. He did sack Tom in 2021. Yeah, 2021. He sacked Brady. The game with, I don't know if you remember the game with Grady Jarrett sacked Tom. We were coming back, sacked Brady.
Yeah.
They called it roughing the passer when Grady.
Oh, that's right. I remember that play. Everybody in the NFL community was pissed off. Oh, that's not. Oh, ref. We don't. We know Tom's getting the calls, but come on, that's just ridiculous.
Well, he sacked Tom Brady in that game, and then in the game in Atlanta, you know how the offense they set up for a screen pass.
Yeah.
Well, Marvin Davidson played defensive end. He was supposed to rush the passer, but when he saw those guards pulling, he stepped back and dropped back. And when Brady threw the screen, it was in their own territory, like at their 8. Mm-hmm. He intercepted the pass with one hand and ran 8 yards for a touchdown. That's all he did for
wait. I saw that. Remember I asked you about that play.
Davidson.
Yeah, I asked you about who was that guy?
Yep.
That man weighs 300 pounds?
No, he weighs about 280. He's about 6'4", 6'4". He's a tall guy.
Tony,
Ronbo, he was a beast at Auburn. He was a beast at Auburn.
That is
Yep.
was just 20 pounds light of 300 pounds. And he was running like that. I didn't know he weighed that much. Okay,
Yep.
that's why Chris Kasurik probably called
He's a
his
great player
name.
at Auburn, Ronbo, but that's the last time he played great was at Auburn.
Well, you know, what's his name from LSU? The guy who came from the Raiders, and we had him the season before last. You know, he was considered counted out, and Chris Kasurik made him into something. So Kasurik's mouth is probably watering to get that kid.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Arden Key.
you talking about
I'm talking about
Arden Key?
Clemson.
Yeah.
No, Arden's from Clemson.
Arden
Isn't he?
Key's getting paid now too.
Yeah, well, and he can thank Chris because Arden Key had turned to poo-poo while he was with the Raiders. He wasn't getting nothing done, and he looked pretty productive for us. Got flagged for being a little too rough.
And then he went to Jacksonville and it was productive for them last year.
But apparently not enough money.
Yeah,
They probably signed him on a one-year deal, and I guess they thought he was too expensive, I guess. So he left.
That's what y'all did with Marvin Davidson. I hope he makes the team. I hope y'all coaches can get something out of him. But Ronbo, I was just so disappointed in him because the talent is there. If you go look at the Auburn film on YouTube, go look at him at Auburn.
So the raw material is
he
there.
Played next to Derek Brown. I don't know if you remember the former first-round pick. That's with Carolina tonight. He's made a couple Pro Bowls. He played right next to defensive tackle Derek Brown. But he did nothing for us.
Tony, what's his 40 speed like? And what's his vertical speed? Because if he's jamming down the sideline, I didn't know that's who you were talking. Because remember I asked you about that. What's his 40 time?
I don't know. I don't remember that, but I was just a disappointment.
Yeah, he's fleet of foot, and I didn't realize he'd weighed nearly 300 pounds. That's crazy.
They said he played tight end in high school.
Oh!
They just caught them for one.
Catch
He's an athlete.
Coming down the field, he makes a catch, and you're somewhere in the vicinity, and you're expected to make the play.
Yeah, but Ron, he didn't do much for us. I
know.
was rooting for that guy. I will be watching. You know how you sometimes you spot shadow, you just watch one player on a play. I used to watch him. I'm like, come on, Marvin, do something. He just.
We'll put him in that wide.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll put him inside. They probably got a plan, cause yeah.
And maybe scenery was doing good. He was out of football last year.
Who?
But
Marvin.
I said he was out of football last year.
Oh, okay. You guys still have the rights to him?
Released him we released him in September because he had
another injury.
He had he had his knee scoped, and it was like at the end of our preseason, and it was like back and forth. Is he going to play? Is he not? I think Arthur Smith then just got frustrated with him. So at the end of September, we released him, and nobody picked him up the rest of the year.
See, that's why I worry about those kind of guys. Now, Javon Kinlaw, I'm worried he's going to end up in that same boat. You know, I it's like Big Show says, but I can't do it. I like players. You know, I can see if anybody's ever played ball before, you develop this attachment because it's a camaraderie thing, and I feel what he feels. I want him to succeed, but the reality says he is going to have some difficulty. That knee may still not let him play. And like you're saying about this guy, I don't know what his issue was. He got his knee scoped. That means he was having a knee problem too. Big men that play that kind of position cannot have a knee issue.
He should be healthy now because he should be healthy and strong after being out pretty much the whole year, except for preseason and one game with us in 2022. He should be ready to go. He should be. And you guys got the coaching. Y'all got great coaches. He got the full training camp OTAs. Maybe he can do something because he definitely got the size.
And it looks like athleticism. Tony, one question before we knock off. Who was the first person? I thought Danny Dimes. When did Matthew Stafford adopt the name Dimes?
I have no idea.
You know, Stafford. I mean, here's another guy I feel sorry for. He's not on our team. Stafford is going to be meat. They don't have an offensive line to protect him. And he was meat last year throwing all them INT. People don't know. Dimes was getting rid of that ball because it saved his life, and they still killed him. Put him out.
Yeah.
They got some kid. Hey, how good is Avia? And you know, because you watch some college players. How good is Avia?
Who?
Avia. The Rams picked up an offensive lineman.
Ronbo. I wanted him. Steve Avila of TCU. He's very good. I wanted him.
You gonna put him in left tackle?
He's 340. I didn't know he was that. I didn't know he weighed that much. He weighs 340, but he can move.
Whoa! You said 340?
He weighs 340, but he can move, man.
You think they're gonna put him in left? You think they're gonna put him in left tackle?
I heard they're gonna put him in guard, but they might because they might replace your boy No Bloom.
No, that's what I was trying to think of the other day. Who's that dude that Rudy used to always talk about? And they carried him off on the wagon. No Bloom.
Talking all that trash. Yeah, No Bloom couldn't stay on the field, and then when he was on the field, he was getting knocked back, going backwards all the time.
Well, Avia sounds promising at 340. But who they have at left tackle?
The Rams. Let's see. I don't know if No Bloom was a left tackle or right tackle.
I thought No Bloom was on the right side.
No Bloom was on the left side.
That's right, because so he's got to come in because they had all pro. They just retired 2 years ago.
Haverstein.
No.
Yeah, Haverstein on the right side.
No. I mean on the left side. The one that Nick Bosa says.
Oh yeah, Whitworth. Whitworth retired and replaced with No Bloom. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
And I love it. Nick said, "Yeah, he's got this technique where he gets inside your pads and he sort of pulls you down to the ground with him." Nick, hit him in the face, Nick. I'm sorry.
Drafted Logan Bruss. I don't know if he started last year out of Wisconsin. You know, I like those Wisconsin offensive linemen. Right guard. Last year in the third round.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to play this year.
Well, you know, this is.
But it was some Seattle fans cracking jokes, Ronbo.
Always, they never stop.
I saw on the blog saying that the 49ers are trying to talk themselves into Trey Lance, and now now we got Sam Darnold. It's like he's saying y'all trying to convince yourselves.
You know,
I'm like, boy, y'all keep popping the trash.
Yeah, but you know, Tony, it is worrisome because, you know, I get tired. As a 49er fan, I get tired of this conversation every damned year. You know, you've got your quarterback, and you know who it's going to be this year, and you've known it for a while. You know, we go into every year with a quarterback controversy. You know, I mean, you should have focused probably on Trey, but no, you went and got Sam Darnold. Why? Because now you send the speculation. Now, Brock Purdy's already earned the job. He came out and did what he did. By rights, he is QB1. By rights, I say he's by rights. He earned that spot. Okay, so why did you get Sam Darnold? Why couldn't you went and got a serviceable guy to back up Brock? And,
right.
You know, they create these messes, and then next year, Kyle's going to be out looking for a quarterback. And where the public and the reporters, everybody can see him, so they can bring it back all over social media. And then, Tony, that's what sets the grounds and the environment for other teams to make jokes about what we do at quarterback. And it's really getting annoying. I mean, it won't stop.
And y'all got another situation, too. Depending on what happens in training camp and preseason, let's just say Trey wins the job.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening when Brock Purdy is healthy enough to play like we talked about at the end of September? And Trey's playing well. What are you going to do then?
See. And then if Trey does well and he has one hiccup, but Purdy in the game! Yeah, and here we go with this. Okay, you guys.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's going to go 17-0 and just have perfect weeks every week with over 100 QBR backs. It doesn't work like that. They did that to Jimmy every week. Jimmy could win 5 or 6 in a row, but as soon as it was that one, oh, he sucks. Oh, my God. You know, you guys, stop tripping.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I didn't like the way y'all fans treated Jimmy Garoppolo. It reminded me of how a lot of Falcons fans treated Matt Ryan.
Can't lose.
So a lot of Falcons fans are idiots. Michael Vick. I'm like, what did Michael Vick win? Michael Vick couldn't carry Matt Ryan's jockstrap as far as winning. I'm not talking about all the exciting stuff
Talent,
Vick did.
yeah.
I'm talking about
Electrifying the audience.
reading defenses, throwing to the right spot. Because great quarterbacks throw to a spot, not to the man.
You know, and that's what you got to learn to do, and especially in Kyle's offense. Okay, he was at TCU. He's a versatile guy, via according to Big Show, and the guy's he's got versatility. Kyle would have liked to got him. TCU, didn't they upset Alabama last year?
Now they upset Michigan this year in the playoffs.
No, I mean during the regular season. I remember TCU being mentioned because I was listening to ESPN one night. I was laughing because this guy said that TCU was going to get the floor mopped. They were going to mop the floor with TCU, and I thought that was Bama. And TCU upset. I thought it was Bama.
It wasn't Bama.
And who did
Tennessee
TCU?
upset?
Georgia, Tennessee? Who was really good in college football last year? And TCU had no business beating them.
Michigan, TCU, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, TCU. I can be TCU schedule right here. I got all this information that I love so much. TCU. I remember Alabama almost lost to Texas.
Okay.
Alabama lost to
TCU upset
Texas,
a powerhouse that they had no business beating, according to.
TCU beat Oklahoma 55-24 during the regular season.
Yeah, this is before the playoffs. Anyway.
Oh, they beat Michigan. They beat Michigan in the playoffs.
And Michigan was supposed to win that game. Yeah, but no game before that though. Huh? I mean, no big time win before that. Okay. No. Well, that's the game they must have been talking about, and I was laughing because I don't know anything about college football. But the guy that was talking was animated.
Couldn't believe that.
TCU has no chance in this game, and they've been walking on just a gift and a prayer for weeks. And this game is when they come down to reality. The next day, I was looking for that dude because I wanted to hear what he had to say because I heard about TCU. I said, "See, you talk too loud like that," and that's what ends up happening.
Yep. It says right here, Steve Avila, 6'4", 340 pounds. Weaknesses: he's strong, but Avila isn't quite nimble. He has limited range as a run blocker and won't be able to do much in terms of outside zone blocking.
Okay,
handling quickness, pass protection will be an issue.
Okay, Kyle would not. As soon as Kyle reads, Kyle would quit reading as soon as he says not nimble of foot and can't get out in space. This is the whole Kyle's whole thing. Tony, always fun. Thursday, let's get together and talk about each other's schedules. It should be a good time. All right.
Yes, sir. I hope they don't schedule you guys playing at Philly again. I hate Philly. This goes way back with me. I think the way Philly they did us.
Philly's they're a dirty team. They're always doing something dirty out there. I remember years ago they made me so mad. That cheap shot on Joe Staley, I'll never get over that. Joe's walking off the field bleeding from his eyes. What kind of cheap shot was that? Oh, man. Okay, you're right. Let the Eagles get just crushed. Anyway.
And on my live stream tonight, they were talking about Mohamed Sanu wanting to come back to the Falcons to help the young receivers. I said, we already got Cordell Patterson. I said, yeah, we can re-sign Mohamed Sanu, and I paused. I said, we re-signed him to a one-day contract so he can retire.
Yeah, so he can be a Falcon. And that's probably what he liked, too. All right, Tony, we're going to go. I'll see you Thursday.
Always a pleasure talking to you. And Rudy,
same here.
Your ass, as usual.
All right, now.
Good night, Ronbo.
Good night, Tony. Right, what Tony mentioned, if you get a chance, Grant Cohn and Rudy's in there, you would not believe the things he's saying. You'll love it. Check that out when you get a chance. Fam, hey, thanks for the contributions tonight. Always appreciate it. And please subscribe. I want you to be a part of the family so when I get ready to do this, I'll be able to find you. Hit the like. I'll see you on Thursday.